For the 4th time in a row for season 4, Netflix has rebooted The Witcher.
Hey.
Now we have a different Witcher. We have a couple of different characters. They basically spend the first episode retelling us everything.
Lauren was saying it will be a law-accurate recast, but why bother? Just simply have the new actor walk in and we'll just accept it. Particularly at this point, because it's going so poorly anyway. Who cares?
They had very little to lose.
They had very little to lose. The Witcher medallion logo, which is old, then just gets blown away and it's the same, but now it's fresh.
I'm not sure how to take it. Do we take it out with the old, in with the new? They spend the first 10 minutes being like, wow, Liam is so much cooler than Cavill.
No, I just think if you're binging the show, which is the Netflix model, this will be really weird.
Yes.
Because you go from season 3 to 4, now you're getting this weird 10, 15 minutes reorganizing, recontextualizing of events, particularly with the opening being the same fight monster that Henry did in season 1.
But cooler, because it's bigger, more bombastic, and there's several Kikimuras now, and he kills them all, and he uses fire. He can use Igni now.
So the first time he used fire?
I think so, yeah. I'm hoping what they're doing is making sure there's no Cavill versus Liam comparison, making Liam look worse, and they're overdoing it and being like, Liam is very cool. Because, with the whole Superman Cavill versus Corrin Sweat, we've literally just seen it be like, oh, if you pull a funny face as Corrin Sweat, people would think you're a little bitch compared to Henry Cavill. So we have to make Liam look cool as fuck at every opportunity.
And they have a bit more of an issue because at least with Corrin Sweat, he's a new canon, a new thing altogether. Where with this, everyone around him is the same.
Yeah, you don't want the fuck go back meme. You don't want that one.
Oh, yes. So, and to be fair, there is this frame narrative in the book. Some Witcher scholars will explain why that is, but I think it's meant to just be how he's all about stories being told and he's deconstructing the fantasy genre, so this is part of it. How people are romanticising the Geralt, Yeneffer, Ciri story hundreds of years later. But in this, it's just used as a way to catch everyone up, really.
I think it's also partly the lore-accurate explanation, because these stories are being told,
right?
They've told a Cavill version, but now this is a different retelling. So it's slightly multiversey.
You're right, actually. That might be the
lore-accurate explanation.
Probably what it is that things change. And I think there was a recent interview with Lauren. She said what a defensive person might say is, the books are still there, the books are fine. This is just our way of telling the story.
Yeah.
So, leave us the fuck alone and read your books, nerd. Is what one might be able. I'm sure you'll get the quote and give your read of it. They full-on redo certain sequences. You could almost argue it's a jumping in point, that it's a soft sorry. And I guess if I had to put my opinion over the top before we really get into it, is that this is maybe a season of The Witcher that comes from an alternate world where they were sort of doing an okay job of adapting the books. They're not doing a great job of adapting the books, but they're doing an okay job.
Well, season 3, they were brute forcing in a lot of the stuff that was missing. They're like, this is the episode where they actually have a family dynamic. We're gonna do it now because we forgot about the last 2 seasons. Whereas this season, they do exactly the same thing, but they do it through flashbacks and they're almost trying to Mandela effect you. Because I did mention in our season 3 review, how do we think we're going to do it? Are we going to do flashbacks? Because at this point in time, we've never seen Liam Geralt with Ciri or Yennefer. So I think it would have been weird to have them meet out of nowhere. So doing this is the smart option and does let them be more book accurate by literally just rewriting history.
Yep.
So I think they really do want you to only watch season 4 and forget about season 1, 2, and 3. They probably have the numbers of how many people rewatch before. How many people are rewatching all 5 seasons of Stranger Things before the new one?
Particularly with that one, but with this one too, the time, it was 2023?
The last one, yeah, for season 3.
Which feels way long. It's so long ago at this point, because now we're at the back end of 2025, so it's 2.5 years.
But they do a lot of stuff better this season.
Sure.
But they also do some stuff worse. Right off the bat, they've gotten something out of the way because it was going to ruin the narrative, basically. Because portals exist. Yes. In season 1, they made the mistake of portals can exist at any point. You can travel across the entire continent with 0 effort if you're a mage. And you can pay for portals in season 3 by going to Kira Metz, rest in peace. And just be like, hey, I need to go to Nilfgaard. And she'll be like, heck yeah, mate, walk on through my portal. Yeah. That is fine. Whereas this season, they're like, oh no, Vilgefortz is blocking the portals.
In the book, as I've said, teleporting isn't nearly as powerful as leaned on as it is in the show. So it's not a fort.
Yeah, that's the thing. The show set themselves up to make it a problem.
Immediately.
It just shows how little forethought. And it comes back to the fact they've had to brute force this season by chucking in all the flashbacks.
Because I'm pretty sure in the books. It's like Jumper. You have to actually know where you're going.
Right.
That seems to be the rule of teleportation in a few things. You need to have a familiarity with both departure and entry points.
Yeah, because that immediately blocks Yennefer from popping into Emir's castle and stabbing him in the face, which is what you would have done at any time in the past.
Why doesn't Yennefer just teleport to the top of the mountain where the dragon is in that story
Also
that one
true.
time, you know? Like,
in fairness, we also didn't know what Nilfgaard looked like until the very end of last season.
forget that, because here's what Nilfgaard looks like.
Here's what it really looks like. My first better, the sets.
Yeah, oh, of course.
Not all the time, and they forget about it halfway through the season. But for at least the first 2 episodes, the sets are actually good now.
We're walking into places. There's hallways that lead into rooms, and we follow those characters do that.
You can have a character do a walk and talk. Like, the most basic thing ever. They're like, holy shit, the stuff like Scrubs back in 2000, whatever, they bought a hospital so that they could do walk and talks on every floor.
The Nilfgaard castle actually felt wide. But even in our favourite place in the world, Redania, we're allowed to be outside of the room, sitting on the benches for a bit.
We show the street from a slightly higher angle to make it look a bit bigger. It does harken back a lot to season 1, episode 1, where they actually built multiple like wooden houses.
So I don't know what happened with 2 and 3. Maybe they were just spread too thin with the multiple locations.
Yeah, maybe they were just poorly run. The rat set is also a lot more decent, but I think that's because they were reusing the set from the Rats TV show that was going to happen. Because like they have the taxman's room, they've got like that little side street,
Right.
like the characters can walk, they can have a whole fight in this area. They do reuse it way too much.
Oh, yeah.
But in general, the sets are better until about halfway through the season when you have the King of Redania in a single tent in the middle of the forest with no tents around.
It's meant to be like they're at the end of the camp. There's a few people all in perfectly clean armor standing around.
And when they get attacked, they're somehow the most vulnerable.
Yeah.
It's like they saw Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. They're like, oh yeah, kings go hang out in tents in the forest all the time.
But you've seen the clip where Charles Dance is talking about initially how frustrating it was when he had to shoot the wonderful scene of him searing the deer. And it's like, hang on, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. You've got me in a field and we're in a fucking tent. So we can't even see the field. And it's just me with the one actor. We could be in a nice soundstage here. And they're like, no, trust us.
Yeah.
And sure enough, yeah, there's kind of an energy to it.
And the lighting works better. When you like move from place to place, you're like, that is the same tent. It has like,
Exactly.
I think it's atmosphere. That's what we can put it down to.
It helps the actors, it helps the camera, it helps everything.
Which is something this season still doesn't have.
Maybe they were outside. Maybe they were in the parking lot and a
it's
bit
all
of green.
very soft light.
The lighting is still a problem for me with this show. Like I don't know the technical stuff nearly as well as you or Sarah, because Sarah walked in and said, "Why is everything so well lit?"
Yeah, they're on a soundstage 100%. There's no way they're not.
The land of 1,000 suns or something. Maybe it's everywhere. And then I'm slowly rewatching House of the Dragon. I turned it on and happened to be the long take of Ulf walking into the bar, and it's all natural lighting. It's all and everyone's grimy and gritty. And even though even though season 2 had its faults were never in the look of it. Like we said, the production design was wonderful. And yeah, I'm there going, oh yeah, the natural light really helps. And I was thinking, God, if this is in The Witcher, everything's lit. All the alcoves are lit. Although there are some moments of natural light, maybe in Nilfgaard, where it's only black. And hey, there's now a visual language to the locations. You know you're in the Nilfgaard castle because it's basically where Emperor Palpatine lives, but still.
The main reason we can probably do that is because I think we're down to 4 locations. No, 5. So we got Geralt walking through Whoop Whoop. He's just like hanging out in the woods.
On the way to Nilfgaard.
The woods, we'll go with that. Yennefer's at Hogwarts.
The place has got a name. I forget what it's called.
Monte Calbo, something like that.
The biscuit name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Ciri is in the Orange Town.
Yeah.
Which is near the desert, maybe.
Persia.
Yeah, she's in Persia. But Prince of Persia.
It's what you think Persia is.
She's in Prince of Persia starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
that's where she is. So it's orange, but like weird. We've got Nilfgaard, which is also very dark at times. And then we've got the evil lair of Vilgefortz.
Vilgefortz's fort.
Vilgefortz's fort. The Vilgefort.
Vilgefish.
The bad thing about soft lighting on everything is it shows off my biggest everything is worse is the wigs. The wigs are terrible this season.
Why is Anya in a wig?
I don't know.
Because she's got black hair.
Maybe it just needs to be longer.
Is that vital to the character? Like with Geralt, sure, long hair, white, I get it. Ciri, blonde hair, sure. But she already has black hair.
We have Ciri's super duper done up hair. Like, Ciri looks like a supermodel in every single shot she's in. Even when covered in blood, she's still got like the heavy eyebrows, the orange makeup, and the perfectly done hair. She's meant to be a street rat now, and her hair is just perfect.
Well, they're
every
all
scene.
pretty well designed.
They're all pretty bad, but I think just the way her hair is like perfectly wavy. The bomb boy, his hair is awful. Everyone, even side characters, have like a window part. I guess it's because like an extra rocks up. And they've got like short, modern hair. And you're like, we can't be having that. Put on this very shitty wig.
Just that general fantasy look. It's like borderline like a Disney live action type thing.
But Geralt's wig stood out to me as really bad as well. Humorously, one of my biggest comparisons is just their hair, like between Liam and Cavill, is with Cavill's hair, I think because the wig designer worked on it so long and hard, even when it was bad, it felt real because it would be down sometimes, it would be up other times, it would be messy when he had just banged Yennefer.
Right.
It was like, after a fight, it was like all in front of his eyes. Liam as Geralt, they have stuck this wig on him with that perfect little hairline, and then he's got the two little strings that come out, and then the hair's done up like Qui-Gon Jinn. It's the exact same in every single scene, and it kind of drove me crazy.
Henry's 6'1", but he's kind of like a stocky build. Obviously, 6'1" isn't short, but like Liam feels very tall compared to.
Oh,
like,
I would have said Liam felt short.
No, he's taller than Henry. He's 6'3", 6'4".
Weird, because when he's standing next to Jaskier, maybe it's just because he's so much more slight. People are calling Cavill the game Geralt, and they're calling Liam book Geralt.
Well, technically, if you want to do that, neither of them are anything. I mean, the way that this game and the world has been presented to us, we all have an idea how Geralt should look, but the book Geralt does not look anything like Henry or Liam. He's not meant to be classically handsome. He's not meant to be quite so buff, maybe.
Yeah. For me, I think Cavill was a good amount of gruff, but maybe too big.
He certainly was channeling the game more than the book, obviously.
Liam just seems too Prince Charming to me.
His accent to me threw me off, and I still didn't land on it. I don't actually think he says much.
No.
The dialogue-wise.
That was an interesting thing I realized.
I've always felt that Geralt in the books is quite the chatty sod.
Which is what I thought was weird, because like, why not change that? They're changing everything this season. This is basically a reboot. They've made Geralt talk a smidge more, but he's meant to talk a lot. Like, why not just have him talk a lot? Whereas he's trying to replicate Henry's fuck, which he cannot do as well, so they shouldn't have even done it.
Fuck. Let's fucking move!
The accent, was all over the place. Part of it did feel ADR to me because, like, whenever he's back to camera, they would do a fair bit of talking on him. So maybe he hadn't completely nailed down the voice by the time they had to film until, like, later in the season.
It's because there is no defined sound of him, I guess.
Well, because he was trying to copy Cavill.
For me, the ideal, like, you get a time machine, I'd have had, like, Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn be Geralt. I think that the energy of that is what I feel is Geralt.
What about Mads Mikkelsen?
That
from
too.
Like Polar.
Yeah, like a younger Mads Mikkelsen would also be good, because the kind of handsome but not like, he's handsome, but it's not like handsome in an obvious way.
He's very like destroyed, because Liam feels too young to me. And I think it's partly because
he's what, 33, 34?
He is too young in fairness, but also because he's still too pretty.
Do I remember a line that they initially even wanted Liam way back when? Like, they were even looking at him, I don't know.
Never heard of it, but I wouldn't be shocked if they've just made that up, because it sounds good. It sounds like, he was always our second choice, but...
Liam's not the problem here. I'd say he's done as he's told. He's read the lines, he's acted the lines, and I think they're probably happy with him because... I'd imagine, unlike Henry, he's not here going, at least the reports would say, ignoring lines or arguing about the book accuracy.
Yeah.
He's probably just simply doing as he's told.
It makes me feel like maybe Geralt is actually ridiculously easy to play, or at least,
this version of Geralt.
Sorry, book. Yeah, I was going to say, sorry, book fans. The Netflix version of Geralt is very boring. It's kind of like who's under the Mandalorian helmet. No one gives a fuck for the most part. How much did Thingo actually bring to it? He doesn't talk much. He mostly says fuck. And even when he does talk, I felt like Liam didn't bring anything to it. Liam doesn't have star quality to me.
Yeah, he kind of blends in a bit.
Could you see Liam carrying any of the stories from season 1, 2, 3?
I mean, maybe. He's came in at a funny point too in the story. Like, he's meant to, arguably, he's meant to have some of the meatiest stuff. Like, this is when Geralt is actually kind of being confronted with his pacifism. Like, he actually has to start making decisions, which is why when he's like, oh, I call myself, we get it, calling himself Geralt of Rivia to seem more approachable.
Yeah.
So then when it's a great bit in the book where he then gets officially knighted Geralt of Rivia by Queen Maeve.
Well, the way they get around this and they do a flashback with him and Ciri.
Yeah.
Which is good, I guess. Like, I liked it.
Yeah, it would have been good 2 seasons ago.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they waste their time in season 2 with their own bollocks instead of just telling the story that was there.
This one flashback accomplishes
More.
Geralt and Ciri actually have time together and he braids her hair, which is a cute dad thing to do.
Yeah.
And it also covers the fact that he used to do Yennefer's hair or Yennefer
His mum's hair.
Oh, was that what it was?
But he never knew his mum in the books. It's a show invention that he lived with his mum for a bit.
True. Whereas like Yennefer would preen herself for hours, so like he gets it. But in the season 1, 2, and 3, he never hung out with Yennefer, let alone saw her do her hair.
Yeah.
So it's just like they are trying to check off so much stuff.
And just when it seemed all was lost, Geralt rose again.
Episode 1 is The Adventure Begins. So basically he picks up the 2 dwarves along the way.
Which is a much more simpler, obviously, with the budget. It's meant to be more of a train of refugees and not just 2 girls in one car. Oh, God, I made that sound horrible. 2 girls, 1 car. It's a longer train. There's more people there than just 2 dwarfs and 2 girls.
And a parrot.
The parrot is there. I was telling myself there's no way they're going to have that parrot.
Really?
The parrot's meant to be on his shoulder, but I get why.
Now that I know the parrot exists, it seems like the most obvious Netflix, like, oh, we need to do that because it's the parrot that says naughty words.
But then they got rid of the parrot with the stupid
just flies
flashback.
away.
Yeah, stupid. Fucking family! Field Marshal Windbag is it's great to see him. Like, he's always swearing, and then there's the subscribe to Bowman.
That hurt to listen to. So episode 1 is just they begin their adventure, and you mentioned that this is where he has to face his pacifism, but I feel like Geralt hasn't been passive since season 1, episode 1.
But that's it. That's my problem, is that even at the end of season 3, which we get the continuation where Henry attacks those border guys, and then the border guy goes directly to the Emperor. And the Emperor's like, fuck you, hung, drawn, and quartered, mate. It's like, surely there's like 20 people you've got to get through before you get to the Emperor at breakfast.
And he made that trip really quick, whereas Geralt took like forever.
Oh, God.
Because there's no fast travel anymore.
Don't think about it. Yeah, don't think about that shit. Yeah, how the fuck did he...
Magic. He portaled there, maybe.
Yeah, he portaled there. Maybe he went to Kiramet or some shoddy dealer.
He hasn't faced his passivity since season 1, episode 1, where the moral of that story is you can't stand on the sidelines or both teams might kill each other and then you're to blame for both. Whereas in this, he kills a bunch of rapists because we need a big fight.
Yeah.
And he goes out of his way to do so. And it's kind of a recurring thing of like, that's his whole season. He walks for a bunch and then they see something bad happening. So then they fix the bad thing, which is a lot more boring than the morally grey and morality driven stuff. The short stories are meant to be more than just Geralt rocks up, kills something and leaves.
Right.
Whereas that's what they seemingly boiled this down to.
Yeah, because I was interested how they were going to do it, because so much of his story is each chapter they were doing a new scrape. So I thought, that might work well for a television show, I guess. So then when we go to the graveyard, there's which happens a few times in this, where it's like, oh, well, he's a witcher, right? So we best throw a monster in there.
So what's supposed to happen?
Well, the whole point is that there isn't a big scary monster in the big scary graveyard. It's a subversion. But when they go in there to have a look, they stumble across Regis, who is eloquent and classy.
Oh, he's not immediately vampire-y?
No. Yeah, in this he is. In this he's like, yes, hello.
I did know he was a vampire, and I know that's meant to be a twist, but I wasn't sure whether I was just like realizing too early. So I'd love to hear from maybe people that didn't know.
I think they were playing on it, you thinking he was going to be a reveal that he was evil because he sniffs the blood at the end of the episode, which is meant to be like, oh, he's going to get him.
Oh, okay. So you reckon they were hoping we would think he's just a bad guy, or like he was going to betray them?
Just an evil vampire, where he is actually, that's the backstory. The backstory is a bit different. It's worse here. Yeah, he's given up drinking blood and now he just wants to like help people, and he's like kind of like the soul of the whole group, really.
He was definitely a high point.
He is. I think him and Shattercup are the most
for sure
the characters that stand out, purely because they are sort of characters.
Yes, that's it. They don't have to try hard to stand out, but they definitely do, which is very funny next to an actor that's meant to be taking over a role, and you'd think they'd want to make him stand out, but he still falls to the background. And you get a bounty hunter and a friendly vampire that take over.
And then I think Dandelion is really not funny. I think he has the same sort of joke, which is, starts talking nonsense. Someone reveals a sword. He goes, "Oh, and you have a massive sword, Geralt."
Could you please? No, he's dead. He's dead. Fuck!
Every time, yep.
The improv commentary.
Yeah, I liked Jaskier in season 1. I thought he was pretty decent.
Yeah.
And then they just did nothing with him, and then he became, the shitty joke machine.
Yeah.
That's basically his role. All through episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, Jaskier kind of relates the story to us, and he fills in what should have happened in previous seasons, so they don't have to keep doing flashbacks.
When I was younger than you, I dreamt of one day becoming a knight.
He's wanted to be a knight ever since we first met.
And episode 3 is fascinating because it's standing in a courtyard, arguing with a priest, winning argument, the end. And that is a whole episode because we've got the 2 or 3 other plot lines happening. And it was the most I felt with this series, maybe ever, where it full on was like every storyline was pausing to go back to the other one. Because episode 1 and 2, I was saying to you, this is probably the most watchable The Witcher has been in a good long while. Maybe season 1 in those early episodes was a bit more, but even then, you got to the series stuff and you're like, oh, fuck's sake. At least with this, the series stuff is, it's inoffensive. You literally do not need to know any of it.
To start with, yeah. Lawrence Fishburne as Regis.
Wouldn't have been my first choice.
But he was quite good because I guess he didn't have to do much except talk in an interesting voice.
I felt he got the soul of the character sort of right.
Okay.
He's a fan favourite, and considering that Regis is introduced in book 3, and Bonhart is too, that you're halfway through the series and these 2 highlights are now here, which is interesting. Of all the things they expanded on, I'm sure people wouldn't have minded like Bonhart creeping around even earlier.
Especially because of how major he was this season.
Yeah.
Regis does give Geralt someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Because Geralt doesn't really talk to anyone. They do have an interesting conversation about men will always create monsters.
Yeah.
Which I thought was quite good.
People like to invent monsters and monstrosities. When they lie, cheat, steal, and beat their wives, they need to believe in a bane more terrible than they are.
I was like, hey, this is good. Geralt should be talking more. This would be lovely.
But that's the whole point of The Witcher, is that he's not a mindless, he's been on this job for decades. He's philosophizing a bit because he's seen the very worst of humanity. He's talked with nobles and commoners. He's got a perspective on the world. He's seen a lot of it.
We don't know how old anyone else is, except Jaskier's maybe 50.
40.
40. But then Regis is 400 years old or something. And then Geralt is also like 100-ish by this point. So it's at least an old soul for him to talk to. But definitely a highlight, but also doesn't do enough in the show.
Witches are the reason we are in this war.
The priest, he hates witches and wizards. He goes, those witches and wizards who replaced our religion. The idea that, like we have in our real world in the medieval era, that the priests were the ones who were telling the kings the divine right. But then these wizards turn up and they become the advisors. Because the religion is not brought up in the books at all. It's not a part of the world because it kind of phased out because, if you've got people who are literally throwing fireballs and stuff, you're probably going to listen to them.
I'm glad we do these talks because I said that this season made me not want to read the books because this season bored me for a lot of it. And I'm like, the books must be at the very least boring. But that religion thing you said, that is an interesting take on witches and wizards because then the church would try to turn them against them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But with the show, it's just this season they've replaced elf racism from season 2 and 3 with now we're doing witch racism. And everyone fucking hates witches.
Fuck you witch!
There's a war going on. So then which we see some of, sort of.
Wars are expensive.
So we're seeing people fleeing. So we're seeing the worst of humanity, the most desperate of humanity. And then they're just trying to walk through it, trying to get to their simple goal of saving my daughter. I will add, they removed one of my favourite scenes, which should have been in the back end of season 3, but I was hoping that maybe they worked it into season 4. And that is that all the kings of the northern continent, even though they all agreed that, we're going to fuck off Nilfgaard, a lot of them just come to an agreement, and it's meant to reflect the invasion of Poland from Russia and stuff like that he's talking about. There's this great sequence where Dandelion is telling Geralt as he's recovering, it's like they met on a bridge and they shook hands. So the evil Nilfgaard invasion is shown to be a very much more practical one. There's a great sequence where they show a bursar who's in charge of the money of the war effort, who's thinking about how many men will die on the march to that castle, how much money will be required, how much food they'll have to pick up. And it's a very practical, dry, soulless invasion, which is what a lot of them are like.
Yeah.
And it stuck out to me as a highlight of the series so far because it really reflected what war is like in that sense. that it isn't the evil army coming in to take over the noble king's land or something.
Yeah.
And they fucked that off. And my problem is that they've went very good evil this season. Like, they've made it very clear who the goodies and the baddies are, which I think comes from, like with Game of Thrones, we're strapped for time. We've got to get to that finale. So now we're going to simplify this shit up. It's goodies and baddies, and let's go.
And it could also be that like Lauren lacks the abilities to give things more color, to give things more depth.
Yeah, the entire writer's room.
Well, they replace your favorite scene with, in episode 4, we're doing Radovid again. And Radovid says to one of his things, that bastard Foltest made a deal with the Nilfgaardians.
Yes.
Like, it's a throwaway line.
We should have seen this coming. That sister fucker Foltest. He's brokered a peace treaty with Nilfgaard.
We don't see Foltest at all that I can remember. Maybe we do.
Oh, that sister fucker. But do they think that fans are really, like, paying attention? Like, it's been 6 years since Foltest fucking his sister.
But also, we never saw that either.
We saw him pinching her in that flashback.
Yeah.
Radovid
Well, he's a genius now, by the way.
still being played like a little wet lip loser.
Oh, God.
Dijkstra, who's like his spy master,
He should be.
is now on the front lines at the war effort with a bad knee.
And sucks.
Sucks.
Like, he's a moron. And I think it's because they've tried to build Radovid up so much.
Well, they've given Radovid what Dijkstra is doing in the books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Dijkstra is completely pointless now. Philip has abandoned him, basically. And he's ineffective. He's always been ineffective. Like, Dijkstra has never done anything useful. But now he's, like, the dumbest person and gets completely, like, flipped by Radovid. And Radovid's like, oh, I'm in charge now.
Because we'll get through Radovid because the show gets through him as well. Because they've kind of combined it a thing where when Geralt and Jaskier are captured, there's a brief scene in which they talk.
So I do have to say how they got captured. Because Geralt has replaced Ciri with this random refugee girl and is showing her a bunch of affection because they realized the Save the Cat. Like, they realized filmmaking, story writing 101, you make your strong, muscular character save a cat, and then we go, oh, he is gentle.
Yeah.
So they've just done that, but with a little girl.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, he has a daughter. Oh, it all makes sense. Oh my God, wow. But in one of, I think, 5 times that they're in a place, everyone feels safe, suddenly Nilfgaard rides over a hill and attacks. It happens every time. It's shocking how often they're just hanging out and then there's a cavalry charge over a hill or like people run over a hill. But Geralt is like, oh my God, run to safety. I'll protect you. She runs one direction, immediately gets clubbed over the head and dies. So he runs over to her and goes, no, because the battle always pauses in this show when Geralt needs to go, no. And that also happens so fucking often. So he's going, no, and then he gets clubbed over the head and that's how he gets captured. Yeah. And it really is just like a poorly directed scene and written, I guess, because yeah, it happens multiple times if someone sends someone away and then they immediately get clubbed to death. And it's like, how could this happen?
Yeah, they're rushing to a book like a book scene. Yes, they get captured. Yes, it's the moment where Regis appears and saves them. And it's, you're a vampire and, you know, and all that stuff.
Even though it was so obvious. It seems like it should have been a reveal and they wanted it to be a reveal.
Because Lawrence played him he's much more casual in the books in how he speaks. And like he's described looking weakly. I mean, you've seen the game model. So it's all these little things that you wouldn't think of. But then with this, you're like, oh, he looks like he could walk onto what we do in the shadows and he wouldn't need to change much.
Exactly. Like, yeah, so at no point was I surprised he's a vampire. But Dijkstra is torturing...
I call him DJ, honestly.
DJ is torturing Geralt a little bit while Jaskier gets set free to talk to Radovid.
Yeah.
And Joey Beatty finally gets to act.
Yes.
He's like yelling, he's acting his heart out, but he's doing it across from a drunk baby. And the drunk baby's whimpering in the corner. And I'm like, why? Especially because it's not from the book, because Radovid is a 12-year-old. So there's not a lover's quarrel where they break up. This is happening in their cheap tent set.
Yes.
And they're just yelling at each other. And then Radovid's like, oh, I'm evil now because my boyfriend left me.
And I'm going to correct the soldier who sassed me before.
Yeah. Off with Dijkstra. I don't like him anymore. He's been trying to control me and I'm a strong, independent king now. Oh no, Nilfgaard has come over the hill to attack us and suddenly I'm in the middle of a fight.
And that's it for him.
Yes, I think it might be.
Do you think they had a whole Radovid storyline? They went, just cut that shit.
Part of the reboot of this season is called Cleaning House, honestly, because the amount of characters they make appear and then get rid of, they're like, hey, Dijkstra, he's gone. Hey, Radovid, he's gone. Hey, Kira Metz, they're gone. Fred and Fan, basically gone. Margarita Pizza, gone. Vesemir, gone. Like, they don't give a shit about anybody this season.
They brought Vesemir in just to kill him.
Yeah.
He's no longer a part of the book series when they leave Kaer Morhen. They brought him in specifically to kill him. Because I was there going, God, if this was a smash hit in 2019, the producer would be going, oh, thank God we got the games as well, because the games continue the story, right? So we can just keep running with this for seasons and seasons. Not anymore, because Vesemir's in those games and quite pivotal.
So this is, we know we're done after season 5. Netflix is getting rid of the show. Fuck it. Do whatever we want.
Yeah, we'll get to Yennefer, because she's my beef of the season.
And then they escape the things. And then we get, I guess, a good episode for Geralt, which is, I can tell it's from the books, and it's meant to be this big moment. But in a book, when a bunch of people sit around a campfire and tell stories, it's the exact same as everything else because it's people talking and that's what happens.
Have you seen the Apple TV show called Dinner Party or Murder Mystery? Every episode, they're talking about the night of the murder, but every episode's a different genre based on who's telling the story. So one guy, his backstory, it's a musical because he thinks himself popular, and someone else has a more serious like drama or comedy, or it's all just different genres. Once again, because I really went past this writer's room, I feel like they watched that and went, what if we did that?
They influence this show really easily because they don't have any creativity themselves. They're just like, oh, we should do this thing that other show did. Like Yennefer's story is we should do the Battle of Hogwarts. So with the campfire stories, everyone sits around and tells us their backstory, which I found incredibly boring and bloaty, which is why it's episode 5, because episode 5 in a Netflix show is always bloaty.
Yeah, and I guess I could sort of see what they were doing, but then also, no.
I can see why they tried. They did some attempts at interesting things, like Milva, who is basically a non-character in the show, but you said was very important to the books.
The book opens on her perspective, so you've got a greater sense of who she is already.
Yeah.
And her backstory in this is changed for the worse. And she's got a newish outfit that's very much, it's a Men in Tights Robin Hood.
Still very boob armor.
I just looked incredibly lame, her outfit. Like the whole legs, bare leg stuff.
Yes. She's Forest Archer. Milva's backstory is now her dad raped her as a child, and then she killed him and ran away into the forest. She bangs elf people.
Aiding the Scoia'tael.
Because everyone seems to aid the Scoia'tael. That's also Jaskia's backstory and is very pivotal that he was a sandpiper.
Because there is no right or wrong in the book world.
Right.
Oh, so you were like aiding these terrorists, basically.
Well, this girl in the show are only terrorists. We never saw them do anything good.
Yeah.
Basically, you were an elf that got abused, or you were an elf that was a guerrilla fighter.
It's so wild that season 3 had Robbie and Mel in there, and we had all this Scoia'tael nonsense. For it not to really be shown.
To not develop the Scoia'tael at all.
Considering they've got all the books here, they really feel like they're making up as they go along, which is crazy because it's all here.
We get a more interesting one for Jaskia, but it's weird to give Jaskia a backstory because we've known Jaskia since season 1.
But what does it?
It doesn't change anything. That's the whole campfire to me. It doesn't add anything to any of their characters.
It just gives us a little bit more, I guess. Oh, God, the Jaskia one's weird because one, obviously, yeah, it's fun that it's in music.
Jaskia's musical section was very poorly done. It was shot pretty boring, and it's just kind of like they found a soundstage and the cameraman made it up as they went along. Like, there are so many good musicals out there. Get a musical director in for that section.
And he's back wearing his season 1 fit.
Because he's wearing a wig.
Yeah, he's Lord Farquaad, yeah.
It's more of an origin story for his beef with the other bards from season 3.
Who is just a name, and he's mentioned once passively. He does not appear.
Well, he's as broad here. Like, he has no character. It's literally, I had a friend that stole my book of songs, and that made him the best bard ever, and people love him now. Are you not more than your songs?
Yeah, like Jaskia went from being the man of the town with his own little like den, and then this guy is comically homeless. Like, I understand it's meant to be like it's Jaskia's memory of it, but you know, so he pitches him as being but I'm reaching there. Like, I also think they did just think, oh yeah, that's what homelessness looks like.
Yep.
So he brings him in.
They pretty woman him.
It's really weird that they did that.
All this does is give us a backstory for the other guy, and I gave negative shits about the other guy. So now I'm like, okay, cool. But then the way they talk about it is Jaskia and Geralt talked more and hung out more over their adventures. Because again, season 1, 2, and 3 skipped over that. Here, they kind of reference stuff like, he says, Geralt's always wanted to be a knight. They're, again, Mandela-ing us. They're hoping this is your jumping on point, which is funny because you probably could, because season 1, 2, and 3 are so ineffective.
And I think in the book, it's like the dwarves are going back to their mountain because it's the world's moving on from magic.
Their backstory is also pointless.
It's very pointless.
It was kind of stupid because, like, the dwarven stories is these two dwarves that have been actually pretty friendly with each other. For this episode 5, they now hate each other because there was a misunderstanding. And the misunderstanding is solved by him going, "You're a traitor." And he goes, "No, I'm not. This other guy was." And he's like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry."
Yeah, I didn't
And
know.
then they like hug and they're like, I just didn't know.
If only I'd known. I'm sorry. Friend.
What are you doing with this piece of shit?
Yeah, like it's like friendly ribbing.
Yeah, and because they're dwarves, right? So they're aggressive but friendly.
And then episode 5, yeah, hate each other, become friends that episode. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. But then we get Regis' backstory, which it felt like a shitty Love, Death, and Robots animation.
Yeah, it felt like previs almost.
Yeah, like I'm not mad that they tried something interesting, but it didn't add anything to Regis because, again, I know everything I need to know. Knowing he had a sad backstory doesn't change anything.
It's just to add to his tragic backstory.
To me, it felt like Rebel Moon.
Oh, Rebel Moon is that infamous sequence, isn't it?
It was this. That's what that was.
I lost someone once.
This whole season is basically Seven Samurai as it is. 2 of the stories, to be honest. Yennefer is like, I need to put together an army to defend this thing to save my daughter. And then Geralt is like, I need to put together a band of merry men so that we can save my daughter. Like, it's literally just Rebel Moon. Everyone sits around and just tells their backstory. And Rebel Moon did it for an hour. This did it for an hour. And I'm like, they're both stupid. In fairness, Rebel Moon was still worse because it was shot like it just looked stupid and it droned. And yeah, it was half your runtime versus 1/8. Geralt's not in episode 6. Episode 7 is a weird one that might need some explanation. They walk through a swamp, which is, again, a decent set. Because like that can't be easy. Like building a set of a swamp must be crazy.
I'm pretty sure this whole sequence is show invented.
Oh, because it's a weird one to add.
It's not in Baptism of Fire.
Weird, because to me it felt like something that they need to do to satisfy book fans because like that's the swamp scene. Whereas it feels like, again, a Monster of the Week episode, which I guess is what we're asking. But it's Geralt rocks up to something that he has to do. And getting through this swamp is apparently the only way to get to Nilfgaard because this long, arduous journey that would have been done off screen in previous seasons.
Yeah, we need a monster thing. It's like how they inserted a troll in the bridge, like just because it's there.
They have a cave troll.
Yeah.
They have a cave troll.
So yeah, they just have that sequence because I guess they want to have a flashback. They want to remind us that Yennefer exists.
Did the swamp monster make any sense to you?
No, didn't make any sense to me.
It's moronic, the fact that everyone was like, don't run off. They run off immediately,
Yeah.
it gets captured. The next person is like, don't run off. They run off immediately, get captured. Another thing that comes up too often is there's a monster or something that looks harmless, but obviously isn't harmless unless you're a moron. So they'll go up to it and they'll like inspect it and then it'll attack them. Ciri with the tiger thing, but Kahir in the swamp.
Oh yeah, Kahir's here, isn't he?
Kahir is here. I forgot to mention, guys. Oh, by the way, Kahir raised Emir.
Young Emir was helping Hedgehog Emir.
Why? How did Emir end up running Nilfgaard? Because they didn't really go into that.
He fakes his death, obviously, with the boat thing. Then he goes back, and then I think he becomes the emperor. The show doesn't really explain why that guy is now the emperor.
Yeah, because as far as we know, he did this thing where Kahir brought him some food one time, or a few times, and then an unknown number of years, enough to age Kahir up to adulthood, Sonic the Hedgehog then went to marry a woman.
That was part of his plot.
In this, at least, it sounds like the evil guy planned that.
Yeah.
Like the evil mage wizard was like, you need to go save a guy and get his daughter to marry him to fuck your own daughter later on.
But I'm still think right now in the books, it hasn't been revealed that he's actually the dad.
That's what we get at the campfire. That's the one thing that caps off the campfire episode to make it big. Geralt learns that Dooney, Hedgehog Man, is Emir, which is hilarious because it changes nothing.
Other than it's just gross now.
Well, yes, but we already knew it was gross because we already knew it was the daughter.
Yeah.
We already knew that since season 2. Like, they literally point that out, that it's the same person. In the book, that would be a crazy thing if it was like, oh, and his name was Dooney. And he's like, oh, God, Hedgehog Man Dooney. If we didn't know, that could have been something cool. So why the fuck did you show us Emir and do nothing with us so many seasons ago?
Because the book doesn't have much for him.
Yeah, he didn't add anything. And it would have at least been a reveal. So I would have been like, oh, no. Like,
Yeah.
that's weird now. Like, it's just annoying that there was at least something there and they actively didn't use it.
Because he marries his fake daughter at least so far for me, for the sake of claiming the land. Because no one knows it's his daughter. So he's like, I'm going to marry her because then I have a claim to Sintra. but also a part of Skellige Islands because her uncle was a lord or king in Skellige.
Yeah.
So it gives him more political grasping because now he can go, Sintra's actually mine through marriage, so please fuck off.
Which in the show doesn't matter at all because he took it over via conquest and just had it. Like he already just had Sintra and didn't do anything with it. And Fringilla was like around.
But now we're getting told that it's like he wants this because he wants his child to be the next, basically, chosen one.
Yeah, his child will be a god, even though his daughter is already a god. But yes, in the swamp, for some reason, they come across a creature that looks great, actually, I should point out. The makeup and CGI of creepy little swamp daughter and Rusalka mum, they looked fantastic. I was like, okay, this is actually a worthwhile sequence because I actually get, I get some money spent. Yeah. I'm like, this is wonderful. Geralt says to that Rusalka, I know what you are. You let travelers go if they guess your riddle correctly. And she goes, he, no one ever guesses my riddle.
Give me the riddle. Yes. And let prisoners go free if they solve the riddle.
What I love, I do not carry.
Geralt says, I will hug you if you let me go because she's cold, that she just revealed she's cold.
I am cold.
I offer you my warmth.
They hug. Geralt stabs her, lights her on fire, kills her daughter, and then the Rusalka holds the daughter and goes, my daughter. And then they turn into Yen and Ciri for a bit there.
Because he saw Yen and Ciri before as a visual.
And then they turn into the real human versions of themselves.
Yeah.
And then they turn back into the Rusalka version.
It certainly was a choice.
And then she drowns Geralt. This is why I thought it was book, because it's so stupid. And I'm like, it must be them just badly adapting something. Because as he's about to drown, Geralt realizes that this magic riddle, the solution is,
I am a father.
And Geralt's a father. Oh my god, this is crazy.
And even the way he learns that she's not in Nilfgaard is different here.
It's literally Yennefer rocks up after they escape here.
Oh yeah, that's how different it is because he doesn't see Yennefer at all in this period.
This actually made me actively annoyed because this whole quest of Geralt has to travel from Brokilon to Nilfgaard,
which she was just at.
Yep.
And then she is assumingly just went portal magic. Take me to where Geralt is, wherever he is. And then it's appeared right there next to him. It's the problem with teleportation when you do it this loosely, because why can't Geralt go, oh, thank God you're here. Start up a portal, take us to Emperor Mir's bedroom, please.
Could you just kill him for me? Because she goes and talks to Ciri, which is a great scene, but we'll get to next. But then, just before she leaves Geralt, they do have a sex scene. We actually get our first sex scene in 2 seasons, and it's more...
It felt so tonally wild. It just was out of nowhere. And then the wide of her riding him. It's so weird.
But the pop ballad the whole time. I'm like, why? Why do we need a pop ballad? So yeah, that was just shit. But I mean, it's interesting that they brought back sex because they need to link Liam Geralt with Yennefer. We need love there. We need to show it.
But it just plot hole for everything then. If now teleport's working fine.
When she leaves that conversation, she's like, I have to go start a sisterhood for some reason.
Which is what I thought we were doing anyway.
And Geralt is like, oh, well, if Ciri's not where we're going, we need to go meet the Druids before the summer solstice, which... That's just an Avatar The Last Airbender thing, where this little group has to get to somewhere before a solstice. An arbitrary clock. But Yennefer could just teleport them there, right? But instead, Yennefer fucks off to nowhere.
She doesn't know where Geralt is, but can appear right next to him. So why can't she just do the same for Ciri?
No, they say in a throwaway line that Ciri cannot be tracked by magic. So we can assume that she tracked Geralt via magic, and so Ciri's just unknown now.
The most powerful people on the continent have tried and failed to find Ciri.
But Yennefer's everywhere. But Geralt needs to go meet the Druids. But instead of getting Yennefer to portal them to the Druids, he has to walk because there's a bridge scene in the book we have to do.
Keep in mind, she could just open one up, he could go through it, and then just open up her own one. It's no effort on her, beyond. But she's so powerful anyway, it would be no effort.
Also, they have the same goal of finding Ciri.
Yeah, kind of. It's on her list.
She's got to start a sisterhood, kill Vilgefortz, find the Vilgefort, free Fran, and then find my daughter.
I like that. She love how his eyes slowly just become normal.
Oh, yeah.
They can't be fucked with that.
So then we get Geralt's final bit in the episode called Baptism of Fire.
This is his baptism of fire. This is it.
I guess there was some fire there.
No, it's... because you went too literal, my guy. It's meant to be that moment of he's crossing the threshold and he's becoming that person he wants to be. He's being the knight he wanted to be.
But he's helped people along every...
Yeah, I know, but this is like, really, he's stepping in the war. He's making a political move. I'm on Maeve's side.
Because Temeria and Maeve are the good guys, not Temeria.
Yeah, sure.
But they're shown as the good guys because Emperor Emir is evil. So yeah, him joining the war and killing Nilfgaardians, I'm like, he's been doing this all the time. The whole season is just kind of stupid for the fact that Geralt's arc is he
continues doing what he was doing anyway, yeah.
And he finally admits he has friends and he smiles and laughs more because they changed the character.
The let's fucking move is what it was. I didn't think it was a big deal when it was shown. Let's fucking move! You know, like you're fine when Henry says fuck, but it's a problem when you put two more words in front of it, you know, two more words either side of it.
I feel like it's the accent failing. He sounds like Thor the whole time. I think that's what it is more than, like, the let's fucking move was dumb in the trailer.
Yeah.
In the show, it's fine, but also it again feels out of personality for him because, like, why is he suddenly a leader?
Exactly. And it's very... I mean, the sequence is fine. It's funny that the little bits...
I thought it was garbage.
Well, it's funny the little bits they bring in from the book that now I'm like, oh, you should have been doing this a while ago and you should have been doing it better. Like when we cut to the guy who's about to get hanged, but then he's like, no, I remember. In that, he's talking to Dijkstra, but in this, they've made it the king.
Eva takes him to the king. It makes sense to be Dijkstra.
Yeah, because he's the spy master who's in charge of the ship.
Eva is suddenly, like, incredibly important and has a bunch of lines.
What are you talking about? Eva's always been there. I'm Team Eva, don't you know?
Banged Philippa for a bit there and then murdered the king and is now suddenly around.
Yeah.
But with the fight on the bridge, so it's from the books, it felt crowded, which is good. Like, it felt like there were a lot of people there on set. The actual battle was very poorly shot, I guess because they're cramped already, but I didn't love it. And then it has those moments again where they think they're safe. Suddenly Nilfgaard comes over a random hill and starts to attack them. Then they introduce a cave troll. And it happens again that Geralt pretty effortlessly kills everyone because I think it's again part of the whole we need to make Liam look good.
Yeah.
So he beats this cave troll and has the strength to whip an entire thing around.
I hate how potions have become this like
superpower serum.
I always got the sense there was many potions they had to take depending on what they were fighting.
Even in the games, there's many potions.
Yeah, and there's lots of game fans, and this is being made because the games are so popular. There's a great when he fights a vampire, one of the CG trailers for Witcher 3, he takes a potion that makes his blood poisonous, so when she does bite him, it actually poisons her. So things like that, where but in this it's just you take the magic potion and it just makes you super and a nondescript super, just depending on what we need you to do.
Yeah, ultra strong and just better.
You're like in the Hour of the Wolf, they full on make in that animation. They full on make him like Spider-Man.
It turns you into Naruto. You can jump off everything.
Yeah.
The cave troll CGI actually looked pretty good, but the actual fighting was very cramped and boring. But again, he uses his powers, which is better than a lot of the stuff they had in season 1, 2, and 3 that were just sword swinging.
And they're working in the humor of the books, but it's too late.
What humor?
Maeve does lose her teeth in that fight, but then does have to spend the time doing that, which I'm like, oh, that's nice. They've thrown in that thing. But since the show has been tonally different every season with different things and different goals, it's then weird that now they're working in, like, I really didn't think we were going to have Field Marshal Windbag the parrot in this. Subscribe! Because I thought there's no way they're going to have that because it's just too quirky and weird for this version of the story.
Yeah.
But now they're throwing it in like crumbs to fans who aren't watching anymore.
Milva's pregnant, then not pregnant anymore. But does she miscarriage because she jumped off a cliff into the water? Having her miscarry immediately after doing like a triple front flip off a cliff into the water that was completely unnecessary. You can't put those two things together, I feel, because that feels like correlation, and I just don't know if they're related.
I thought it was pretty forward progressing, but in the books, there's a bit where Regis goes, she's pregnant, and they go, oh, well, okay, she's fucking pregnant. And they all agree, all of them, Dandelion, all that, are like, what's her choice? What happens? And they'll go, yeah, of course it's her choice. Like, it's all these blokes go, it's nothing to do with us. It's her choice what she wants to do. And they leave it at that. I thought, God, surely they'll include that scene because he was writing that shit in the fucking 90s. But they don't. And so they just have a miscarriage. And I suppose it is important. I haven't got that far for her character.
But then Geralt gets knighted, and then that's the end. I'm so glad that an episode ago they said that Geralt always wanted to be a knight.
You could still be a knight if you wanted.
And then we get it fed again, don't we?
Yes, Jaskier literally leans over and said, he's always wanted this.
He's wanted to be a knight ever since we first met.
If it's not been there.
Jaskier says, he's always wanted this ever since I've met him. So that means they've like met, and Geralt's like, "Hi, Geralt of Rivia. I really want to be a knight one day." Like, what are they doing?
It's because in the book, and then now we've actually had that story told to us in the novel, is that one of his first times he was out and about being a witcher when he was 18, fresh out of Cairmore, and he helped save a woman, and he did the knightly thing, and then he got punished for it, nearly hung. And so that's going to be that defining moment that's like, it's not the storybook world. The world's fucked. And no matter your intention, going in, you just get bit in the arse. So it's him coming over that with this and doing the right thing. It's what the show wants it to be too, but it's another fight scene.
And he's always just been the good guy.
Will outfits be their own thing?
Geralt does look like trash. It's a studded leather jacket for one.
The fucked boy ribbed patterning. Like, I understand that Henry struggled in the outfit to fight. And they've got bits in the flashback where they've got Liam wearing the original armor that Henry was wearing. So in this, they wanted to have something that clearly he could wear at night, that would dry easily, that wouldn't be wet too much, and he could move in. So they went with a leather jacket.
Yeah.
And he looks like out of Sons of Anarchy. He
looks like a metal rocking guy.
It doesn't look good at all.
No. There's not a single scene where I look at that and I'm like, yes. Henry cut a silhouette. Even when they went with the weird leather studded armor, it had like some it had flair. He looked like a main character, whereas Geralt, in amongst the sea of them, Geralt blends in.
There's nothing about him that is distinct. And, I mean, but Geralt is wearing a bandana the whole time. So, just see.
Okay.
So there's some weird choices.
It's a book.
That is goddamn awful. But once again, watching House of the Dragon, they've got some holes in their tunic. The armor's fucking dirty. They're sweating. They're puffing. They're uncomfortable. It looks good. Then you go to fucking, like, the Redanian army tent, and it's just like they're all in just this perfectly cosplay.
Yeah.
Almost looks like it's out of like a comedy show, like Blackadder or something.
Everyone looks cosplay. Ciri also looks cosplay.
And then the outfit that she is wearing at the end, it's just a leather jacket and fucking leather jeans, but instead of a zip, it's just a lace.
Right. Because I'm a bad person, the only outfit I can tell you about is Sabrina's. But that's kind of in character for her. But she's in leggings, like stretch leggings.
Yeah, and I think it's all down to, once again, they've just made the outfits, they've just put them in, they haven't added in that. It's a lot of problems a lot of these fantasy shows have. Everything's too clean, and the lighting just 10 times makes it worse.
One thing I can tell you is that Lauren Hissrich is a lover of high fashion.
That's why Philippa is just in the wildest outfits sometimes.
Yeah, and Yennefer and all the mages, they would all be dressed to the nines, even though it wasn't specifically book accurate. It did make sense, but also it was very high fashion because Lauren loves high fashion. If you look at the costume designers' like brief, there was always like runway shots of people in amongst them. So they were actively going for that. That mixed with Renaissance stuff because they forgot that this was a medieval show and they just went with Renaissance the whole time.
It's true though, because the Witcher is very medieval described in the books and the games. It's also that Scandinavian, Polish kind of medieval. So we could have had a fun little looking show here if we stuck to it.
I'm looking for Vilgefortz of Roggeveen.
So Yennefer's stuff is fucking invented and it's shit.
Everyone hates witches.
We spend our whole time at her base, which I don't know where she got it from. In the book, it's Philippa's running shop. It's Philippa's lodge. And like, during the Faned coup, Yennefer gets captured, turned into a little green idol.
Precious Venus.
And then when we're sorting out the lodge, she gets to get brought back. There's an agreement that they need to get Ciri, because they want Ciri for their magical reasons. And Yennefer dips out very quickly, because she wants to go get her daughter.
Yep.
The end of Yennefer's baptism of fire story. I don't want to say girl boss, but Yennefer's clearly our showrunner's favourite character.
Yeah.
Just like you don't need to watch an interview. You know that this is where she's most interested.
Yeah, which season 1 makes sense because you're like, you build her up from nothing. But then your favourite character you've just made stagnant, boring, and now you're trying to force down her throat that she's a mum. The funniest fucking moment for me was after Yennefer later on in the season finds out that it's not really Ciri. And then she's like to Philippa, I couldn't find Ciri. And Philippa goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I know she's your daughter.
I'm sorry. I know she's your daughter.
Like whenever they can, they make sure they say, your daughter. Yennefer's always like, I need to find my daughter.
You are not my daughter!
So as we're told, teleporting has been fucked up by Vilgefortz.
Yep.
Vilgefortz is a very powerful mage who understands magic better than anyone.
Suddenly out of nowhere.
It's true to the book, but in this, he's introduced way too early. In a show where you've got Sharto playing quite big, he should have been someone who should have felt like a character, Vilgefortz. And in this, they've just made him evil sorcerer guy. Like, there's nothing more to him now.
Not campy in a good way, not like playing it up evil mage lines. It sounds like bad acting.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I don't think the actor's doing the best. I'm sympathetic. It's not the best material, and it's invented. Like with Regis, they're taking conversations from the books, they're reverbing it, and
they're giving it to a good
Lawrence
actor.
is probably a better actor than that guy. So.
Yeah, for sure.
So now she's like, okay, we need to fucking kill Vilgefortz, but Vilgefortz is going to come for us too, right?
She assumes.
So I've got Fringilla on the inside.
Fringilla goes undercover, but they double cross us. So what they do is they make us think that Fringilla betrayed Yennefer.
Yeah.
But then they flip it the other way, and then they flip it the other way again.
I think it's the bank, right, that she was at with Ciri when she originally appears, and there's all these people going, fuck witches are the worst. And they've got like the black hooded Death Eaters, I will call them. The Death Eaters there going, yeah, they are fucking shit, aren't they? Like, they're encouraging everyone to be shitty. And the banker opens the gate of the angry people.
To the crowd.
She comes out doing that, I guess because they didn't have the effects. So she's just like, back away, heathens. They stab her immediately.
Yep. And you cannot heal stab wounds. Remember that for later.
One of the most powerful witches in this world.
It was so funny to me because I had no fucking clue who she was. I remember her as Portal Girl from last season, but you named her. You're like, oh, she's like in the book, she's in the game, like she's a thing.
She's not like, yeah, she's in Witcher 3 because I remember because she's one of the first women you encounter, and it's the whole like, you know, I mean, I was like much younger at the time, but I'm like, oh, I can romance this woman. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, but it's just funny that you were like, oh, and then they just immediately kill her.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I meant by cleaning house. Everyone was busy, or whether they realized we've set up 17 characters.
Jesus. So they get rid of her. Yennefer's like, no, like we have to go to another base. So they go to Monte Cal, whatever it's called.
They do mention it vaguely.
Yeah.
But it initiates what is the fucking worst in this show still. CGI drone shot.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it's lessened.
I thought it was Redania to start with, just from a weird new angle. And then they're like, by the way, it's now on the edge of a cliff. All of these castles are built in the weirdest...
Well, magic, right?
Because, like, Game of Thrones...
Well, the Erie's weird. Come on.
Oh, but they built it into their culture in Game of Thrones, where they do the moon door. So, like, they need to be able to drop people from a fucking thing. The Iron Islands is, like, they're crazy...
rapey people.
Yeah.
Who live in ruins.
Yes. On the water. Like, they don't want to be on land. They're almost forced to be where they are. They don't love it, but, like, it's their thing now. Whereas in this, we get no culture, no world building.
Even Wheel of Time did it. Well, Wheel of Time did it poorly. Like, Tanchico. You get some culture. Everyone's scouse and wearing hats.
It's just Tortuga, but yes, again, makes sense in world. Whereas here, they're like, here is another castle precariously placed on a mountainside.
Yeah.
I will not elaborate. Enjoy. And also somehow the water system works up there. Fuck it, honestly. But she's putting together an army now because of that whole Vilgefortz thing.
The A-team of witches.
And she keeps saying army, but there's 10 of them. And then a bunch of kids.
Power of one. The power of two. The power of many.
A witch on a broom comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she's the only witch who does that. She comes in and she's like, we all want people to go, oh, yes, queen. But I didn't think the actress was as quick with the lines as maybe they wanted it to be. I don't know.
They didn't give her enough.
Meryl Streep in Devil Wears Prada. We'll cut everyone down with a line, and everyone's like, oh,
that's what you needed. You needed an actress. You needed someone to come in, and you needed them to be
kind of like, even though she's passed away now, the Queen of Thorns from Game of Thrones, just cutting everyone down with a sexy
you needed
comment.
an absolute bad bitch to come in and just slay everyone.
Yeah.
But her hilarious line during the Battle of Hogwarts, she gets knocked off a cliff and goes, oh no, I'm falling. And then she explodes the guy's head up top and she's like, not me.
Coming down!
Arresto momentum!
So like she gets 2 sassy lines, but I'm like, what the fuck?
So she's assembling a whole team.
Yes.
And trying to deal with the Vilgefortz situation.
Not deal with, preempt, which is weird. Yeah.
The Vilgefortz at the Vilgefortz. But then we've also got fucking that guy.
Istrid.
Istrid's there, and Istrid thinks because he's under a spell, he's doing research for Yennefer.
Yes.
And he's trying to find information about Ciri that Vilgefortz can use, because Vilgefortz wants to use her in order to become even more powerful and travel between the worlds and all that shit.
So he's studying, and he is studying the magic book of monoliths that is from season 3 that suddenly appeared. And it's also a pivotal moment in Blood Origins, the failed Netflix TV show, where this is the book that actually allowed them to actually conjunct the spheres. So, like, the conjunction happened because of this one book and an angry elf. And then they bring this book into the future because the stinger at the end of Blood Origins is Boy Cavalier standing in a doorway menacingly holding the magic book that he used to travel 1,200 years into the future, and he stares at Ciri. But because Blood Origin failed, we're not doing that anymore. We've decided this book is not that powerful, but we're going to use it this season. And then at the end of this season, they burn the book of Monolith that was pivotal to the entire history of this world, apparently.
Do not think about it anymore.
It's like we fucked up.
At first, I thought the set was interesting for the Vilgefort was interesting, but then it very quickly turned into like a Batman Forever type set.
This is our Batcave. We will only use this one room.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, this is kind of like it's a look, which I thought I know where I am.
Yes, that'll be it.
So that's good.
For a second there, you weren't confused and you were like, ah.
Yeah, exactly. He's got acolytes up there. In the book, it's just he's a charismatic, likable wizard who's got other wizards on side because he's like, wouldn't it be cool if we even had more power?
He's Voldemort now.
But in this, it's Voldemort, and he's got Death Eaters.
Yes.
Because we need to tell the dum-dums at home, because we haven't done a good job telling the story.
Yeah.
We have to make it really clear that this guy is evil now. He's one step away from having Vilgefort's evil lair.
Yeah. Neon lights.
Like, it's Dr. Evil, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost...
And those acolytes that are standing up the top there, they're the ones stopping portals from working.
Right, so they have to sacrifice a bit of their time. So you have to have someone on it.
They die up there. Once they're up there, they die. Yeah, so he's actively churning through his followers that he seemingly has an unlimited amount of.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are religiously indoctrinated by this man, clearly.
Yeah, multiple times where he's like, you're just not the chosen one or whatever.
So he's doing that, the fuck with teleporting.
This whole plot is to cover a plot hole.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, shit, we need this one character to spend 5 episodes stopping this plot hole until we can do the Battle of Hogwarts in 6.
And then they've got literal earpieces they used to communicate with each
Bluetooth.
other. Weird. So then, what's his name? The guy who calls it Yenna?
Istrid.
Istrid eventually figures out, decides to sacrifice himself to destroy the portal machine.
Yeah, basically in the middle of this big fight where Fringilla has been found out at this point and she's being held in a dungeon, at the pivotal moment that would be wonderful if she escaped, 2 guards come in and they're like, the boss needs to see her. But like he's in the middle of a battle and then basically she kicks the shit out of them because they're morons.
Exactly.
And then she escapes. Istrid sacrifices himself to make portals work again. But then that's what made me so fucking angry, because portals work again now after this big battle. Yennefer uses it to meet up with fake Ciri and have a cool conversation we'll talk about in a bit, but then doesn't use it to kill Amir, doesn't use it to travel around with Geralt. So like they bring back the plot hole.
The witches have been invited. The 3 remaining witches.
They really are just the 3 remaining. We get recast Vesemir. You said you liked new Vesemir.
I didn't like old Vesemir. I didn't think he did a good job.
I also didn't like old Vesemir.
I guess you could say he's either just as bad or a bit better.
I thought he looked worse. Season 2 Vesemir had shorter long hair, but this Vesemir has like a really long bad wig that makes him look way too much like Geralt, who looks way too much like Leo Bonhart.
I'm really surprised if it's the same. Yes, the same wig, the chart. And they're not in scenes together. Let's just.
That's it. They're not in the same scene together.
So gets them in because they're like, we've got to train. Yes, we're the most powerful wizards there is, but we need to know how to throw a few swords.
We need to do a montage, baby. But Yennefer and Francesca already know how to use swords.
But she got Francesca, remember? She went to the sex den where she sees a sexy, but like not as rude as it might have been in season 1.
Yeah, they're retelling the story, which is a trope. But my version of that is the Ember Island players from Avatar: The Last Airbender, where it's a funny episode where they see themselves as seen by the town.
Right.
But they're actually this band of merry kids that have gone on this epic quest for years at this point. So like people know about them and like stories have been told. Whereas this play is apparently just about Yennefer and Geralt and how strong their love is. It's again one of those like Yennefer and Geralt are in love. Like, they had adventures together, I swear, off screen. It's also like the Game of Thrones scene where Arya, she meets up with those players that do the comedy version of the king. So those two make sense, whereas this one, just being like Yennefer and Geralt.
Just there.
Then
we get Fran, whose first words are, I've been a bad queen, while she's taking back shots.
And I think raping the guy, because she knocks him out after, and she says she takes whatever she wants. Yeah. I'm just saying that this show is very flippant with its morals.
It is, and no matter if it was in the writing or in the editing, they have, considering just how much of a focus fucking Fran was in season 2, season 3, and now for her to just be a background player. She comes down, she's the first seemingly reluctant, like, I'll hang out. Like, now that whole bit of like, if you want me to drink your cellar dry, I know she doesn't say that, but it's that vibe. But then she gets the sword out. She's like, I've been fighting for ages.
She shows us a wine animated conjunction of the spheres catch up, because this is the jumping on point for the whole show.
Yeah. Now, you didn't watch Blood Origin, so...
Then we have to have the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon fight between Yennefer and Francesca.
Which isn't great.
It's stupid as well, which is probably worse.
We'll probably have a little section, but I think by and large, the fights are pretty good, but they all rely on the same trick every time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fast hoo-ha-ha and brutality.
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? We won't show tits, but we will show very brutal skin ripping.
Yeah.
I understand, it's not, I get why, but in poor Anya in season 1 had to have a...
It was everyone in season 1, yeah. Overall, though, the fights are definitely better, but they're shot terribly.
It's tracking one shot,
It's a guy in a Steadicam being like, oh, fuck, I'll get there eventually, and then CGI everywhere.
Because it's not Shoto actually doing that, so we have to have...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's always it. When you watch something like The Raid, when it's actually those guys, so you get to just shoot it in a wide and show it all. It
Daredevil
looks awesome.
season 1.
Daredevil season 1, because you just put the guy in a mask, so it's fine.
Yeah. So then we have our Battle of Hogwarts. It really is the Death Eaters apparating.
And terrible effect.
Oh, it looks worse than apparating from 10 years ago.
So they're allowed to teleport by order of Vilgefortz?
Yes, I think his big portal imagines it because they orbital drop
because they
super.
jump in. Oh, fucking hell. But they don't fly down because that would be too similar to Death Eaters.
Yes, it feels like a fan film, honestly. But they have all the beats of the Battle of Hogwarts. If you look at this fight from any kind of like strategy kind of deal, you will fail. Because with the Battle of Hogwarts, there's a bunch of fucking kids there. They're under attack. So that's why they have to defend everywhere, because kids are hiding out places. Yeah. They can break in anywhere. But most of the fighting happens around the outside, and then some of it happens up in the clock tower so they don't get like backed up on. Whereas the point of this fight is Vilgefortz wants to kill Yennefer and the other mages, I guess.
Why does he want to do that?
We don't know.
Just because they're a rival faction, let's get rid of them.
I guess so. Oh,
I've got nothing else to do.
They'll get in my way while I find Ciri.
Yep.
Even though he could go to Geralt and be like, Geralt, where's Ciri? I'm going to help you.
No, you can't, because he already fought their epic fight.
Oh, which they reshot. And they made it more epic. They made his...
With him, like, catching him at the back.
But it looks sick. I'll give him that.
It did look sick. Okay.
Like the pan where you're like, oh my God, they got him.
Damn.
Every now and
I did.
Again, episode 1 and 2.
You caught me.
Episode 1 and 2.
No, episode 1 and 2 had me hopeful.
It had some sauce.
Yeah.
But they want to kill the mages. So what the mages should do is find some kind of choke point, or basically find a defendable position. Instead, what they do, half of them gather in the courtyard, half of them are elsewhere, some of them are inside, and then the witches are standing in a hallway.
Yeah. What did the witches do to secure the location? Because the first thing Vesemir says when he walks in, before he even says, hello, can you take my coat, is, this place is fucked. We need to figure out how to make it more secure.
Yeah.
But then turns out that's all for nothing, because they just teleport in anyway.
Yeah, Yennefer says, oh, actually, they can appear from nowhere. And so Vesemir should have said, oh, then we all stick together in the basement or some shit. Oh, also, we all have mana bars now. They make sure to say if we use our mana too much, we run out. That's why they use the kids to do the defense, because then the kids can fuck off, and that way all the other witches are at full power.
Right.
Sabrina, she has an unlimited archery arrow, because instead of casting spells, shooting an arrow is better when you don't have to reload. I do love that in every method where you like pull a bowstring back and a magical arrow appears. I love
her.
Sorry. But that's her whole thing. She just shoots arrows the whole time.
Yep.
And that can't be better than wizard magic, right? Like, in what world is arrows better? But what they needed different characters to do slightly different things.
Yeah.
Triss still does druid magic occasionally.
Triss has like a particular move that she has. What is that? Is it plant? Is it like she uses vines or something?
She does vines and shit because they decided the redhead that wears green should do trees.
Triss isn't great, is she, in this?
Oh, Triss is also background. That's why this season, for the most part, feels more focused in general because they have scrapped or killed more. It makes it feel better.
It's more watchable than all the other seasons. Even
Yes.
season 1, I think it's more. I'm not going to watch it again.
You're right.
But like, it's more watchable.
It probably is more watchable, despite the fact I was probably more bored for longer stretches.
I watched the Bonhart versus the Rats fight twice today because I enjoyed it enough. I enjoyed it because it's characters I didn't like getting it.
That's not what they wanted.
Yeah, but
I'm pretty sure that's the opposite.
I know, but still, I think they're going to find a lot of people going, fuck yeah, kill all of them.
It'll be good for the wrong reasons. Oh, he hasn't got the good eye yet.
Is that explained why it's slightly getting better?
He drains some of the mages to make his eye better because I think they realized halfway through filming the makeup
dumb.
looked like dog shit. Like, he looks like a Doctor Who villain.
Put a scar on him then and make the eye a bit hollow. Like, make the
It
eye
looks so
pale.
cool in fan art.
Yeah.
And I'm like his face is gashed open with like a thing wedged in there. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah. But in this, they got bored.
Well, no, you've got the budget. Do what they did with Aemon Targaryen. Just put a fucking jewel in there.
That looks sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's a direct comparison. I totally forgot about it again.
Yeah.
Oh, God. This fucking show. He fixes his eye because it looks shit. But then they trick Vilgefortz by using some, like, disguise magic. Tissaia is back for a second there because Yennefer's pretending to be her. And it works for a second. Like, Vilgefortz, who is this evil wizard that definitely betrayed Tissaia on purpose, seeing Tissaia again was like, oh, Tissaia, oh my God.
Someone pointed out in the comments how they even made Tissaia killing herself about Yennefer.
Yes, fantastic. Twice in the same episode, Vesemir goes, you go away, witches. I'm going to go do something by myself. Everyone's like, okay, see you later. They all leave. And then he goes to 1v1 Vesemir for my son. And then he does get a hit off on him, but he also dies, obviously, because, like, why would one guy fight him?
Who is that emotionally affecting?
No one, because no
the
one's
other
there.
two witches aren't there. But
And they don't bring it up
Lambert,
after.
who's from the School of the Cat, who either the actor couldn't or they didn't have much time, but he's notably bad with the sword. Killing Vesemir does nothing. One, they're not in the fucking books anymore when he leaves Kaer Morhen. So bringing them in to have them not be that effective, but just to die, and then nobody talks about it afterwards. No one's like, man. Even Triss. Does Triss have a moment of like, no, not Vesemir?
Maybe, but it's not much and it doesn't go for very long.
So that I was surprised at how much the fight took up of the episode because I was like, man, this has been 20, this has been 30, this has been 40 minutes.
They have Vilgefortz knocked out on the floor. Philippa and Yennefer do. And they're like, cool, we can kill him. But then Yennefer's like, Philippa, you go away. I'm going to 1v1 him. And then she loses as well.
And somewhere in the middle, Margarita Pizza gets
cooked.
Margarita Pizza gets cooked. And she's very surprised to find that she's been killed. I mean, she's the headmistress of the magic school.
And the fight pauses so that everyone can go, oh no, Margarita died.
She had at least a dozen lines.
And legitimately, that was the first time I'd heard her be called Margarita, I swear. So when Yennefer runs over and goes, Margarita, no! I'm like, what?
By the end of it, it's the whole Vilgefortz has been depleted of his acolytes because they all went through and all got killed except for 3 people who he then
steals bits off.
Once again, it's like the Death Eaters in the fucking graveyard. I return, sir, out of fear, not loyalty.
Vilgefortz is shooting a bunch of fire, and then Philippa off screen turns a thing which makes water come up.
Yes.
And then Yennefer can now waterbend to beat the fire. But why does having water there suddenly change it? And also, we didn't know what she was doing. It's meant to be this big, like, oh my, like, Seamus Finnegan blows up the bridge.
Yeah.
We know that blowing up the bridge is useful. So when that doesn't work immediately, we're like, oh no, we need that bridge to go. Whereas we don't know why there's a time limit for Philippa turning a stick. Sorry, evil read just real quick. What are you doing, buddy?
We learned from Vilgefortz that, your daughter's in the Nilfgaardian castle, don't you know? So then at the end of that fight, the next we see of Yennefer is just staunch in there. She's just low-diffing everyone, as they say.
But doesn't go through and take out Emir. Just leaves it.
Because Yennefer's goal at the start of this is we need to form up and find Vilgefortz. So we need to secure a wizard situation, a source situation. We need to kill Vilgefortz. And then we also need to get Ciri back. And at the end of this, she's decided that she just needs to get Ciri back. Which is what she was doing because realistically, as someone who cares about her in a motherly way, if you wake up and you're told, hey, we don't know where your husband is, really, we don't know what he's doing, we don't know where your daughter is, you do what she does in the book and she dips out the first moment she can. She's like, fuck your politics. I'm just going to go get her myself because she's my daughter. So we've given all her this extension. What does this add to Yennefer's character? Not much. So then when she finally gets it all done, she teleports straight to Geralt. They have the sex scene, tells her they're there. She's not there. We don't know where she is. He's like, I'm going to go get the druids. Then she goes, right, I'm going to teleport to the Vilgefort, which ends up in the sea.
Which she kind of knew would happen because Philippa was like, you'll never be able to navigate his whimsy portals.
But then inspiring music is playing as she's slowly being pushed to a, what do you call it, a sinkhole?
A whirlpool.
A whirlpool. Like, while it's
Is
like...
that what she wants?
I'm like, can't we... Once again, the magic is so flippant. You're like, can't she fly? Could she borrow that chick's broom?
And she can teleport again, right? It was only because she went after Vilgefortz that it went wrong? Maybe? And also, Fringilla didn't tell her where the secret lair was. Fringe is back with the Sisterhood now.
Right.
Because they all stand around and she's got no hair.
Fun fact, this is the first time we see Fringilla in the books, Baptist of Fire. When she meets at the lodge, it's not an earpiece, but she meets there in a virtual sort of like holographic way.
Okay.
Not virtual. And because she's the sorceress of Nilfgaard. So the whole point of the lodge is fuck politics, fuck allegiance. We just need to worry about magic. And the main problem of magic right now is Ciri, because she's the child of Elder Blood and we're the Bene Gesserit.
Yeah.
It's basically what that is. So we're just going to ignore politics and just focus on magic.
Giving Nilfgaard a mage makes sense because that mage can then defend against other mage attacks.
That was the whole point of the series, is that if everyone's got a mage, it's like everyone has the nuclear codes. The whole reason why Yennefer shouldn't be able to just teleport to the castle is because a mage is there and has put up the proper securities to prevent people from doing that.
Yeah.
So for that to just happen now is wild.
Yeah. Amir should be dead. There's no reason Amir is alive. It's insane because obviously he's still hunting for Ciri.
Yeah.
If he's dead, that's a massive faction after your daughter that is no longer after your daughter.
Yeah. And as we've shown, like the Stefan Skellen with all the political people that he has to talk to that one time, they're maybe not too keen on Emperor on the White Flame doing his invasion stuff.
Let's talk about him real quick because that does go into it. Skellen, I found quite interesting because he's what Dijkstra should have been.
Yes.
And then he does go to a shack and talk to some people, but he's plotting behind the Emperor, which I'm like, this is stuff. This is how we should be doing the show.
Because he wants Ciri completely off the board.
Yeah, like she's in the way, if anything, because he's happy having fake Ciri.
Yeah.
If anything, real Ciri is more trouble. Like fake Ciri is convenient. I don't care about prophecy.
And fake Ciri's here going, I'm just happy there's a roof under my head.
Which is another really great scene. It's bad that I look at it as one of the best scenes in the entire season, but Skellen rocks up to fake Ciri's room and fake Ciri is like, oh, I don't want to do any of this stuff. I'm scared that I'm an actor and I'm going to get found out. Skellen comes in. He knows she's fake Ciri. She knows she's fake Ciri. But we actually have a well-blocked scene because he's walking around the room, picking up her laundry, opening the curtains, closing the curtains, which is changing the lighting, changing the framing. And it's a conversation that isn't just people sat around a campfire or sitting in a room. And again, it's bad because it's not any of our main characters and it doesn't really change anything, but it's still one of the best directed scenes in the whole show.
Yes.
Because it's two characters that want different things trying to come to an agreement while the other one like cleans up after her. And he has a power dynamic because she is the princess. She should be in charge. But he comes in and like by the end of it, he's pulling laundry out from underneath her because she's in his way now.
Somewhat Littlefinger Sansa Stark, if you want to bring the... it's that.
It's the strongest scene I can point to.
Even has a beard similar to Littlefinger. Yeah, I think you would just say it's this show's Littlefinger.
Yeah.
But isn't it annoying where it's season 4 and we're acting like Stefan and I don't know how to say the
you can say astronomer wizard.
The astronomer wizard guy. They're here. We're acting like they've always been here.
Yeah. If this was season 1, this would be completely fine because that's the status quo.
Yeah.
You cut to the evil emperor. He has a guy that's being conniving and he has a wizard.
A very modern haircut too.
But he looks evil now.
He's not wearing the fucking armor anymore, at least. He's wearing court, which I called for, so I'm happy to see it.
That's what I mean. Some better things. Like they actually, it's weird what they improved and what they didn't. But season 4, we've seen Amir multiple times in his own kingdom. We've seen him just wandering around with no advisors, but suddenly advisors. And it's like, oh, this would have made him feel more kingly than him literally just walking around.
Which is what it was in obviously the book has been having him with advisors. Also, he's still, where I am, a fairly distant person. I think it's noted, even though Ciri has been brought, people start twinging on that, why is he so stressed because Ciri's here? So everyone starts going, like Stefan, yeah, that must be fake Ciri then, because why would he be punishing the person who brought him her?
which would be interesting if we didn't know it was fake Ciri.
Yeah.
Which you can do in a book because you don't show their face.
Yeah, that's how you get away with it.
There's got to be a way to do that in live action that isn't just like only showing the back of Ciri's head the whole time.
Yeah.
Like you could do it in conversation. One of the most controversial things from the books, and that people definitely knew Netflix wasn't going to touch.
We all just knew it, didn't we? Yeah.
The rats, and mainly the missile thing.
Well, the rats are fucked people. Like, they're children of war. So in all the chaos, which you wouldn't really feel here, like they're kind of jumping from village to village, getting by. They aren't having a grand old time in their den, which is what we see in a more Persian-inspired environment.
Getting drunk, doing cocaine.
Yeah, they're not doing that. These are like shit people. Like, one of them is deserted from whatever army.
Do they have tragic backstories?
I think their backstories they got right when they explained them.
Okay.
But the way they are delivered, it's in the last chapter of Time of Contempt. You just get a few paragraphs. This is this one, this is that one, this is this one.
The stuff that I know makes it seem like just because you have a sad backstory doesn't make you a good person.
Exactly. It's the morally grey stuff we're talking about that the series and the books at least dwells in. And also, it's not that they are evil, it's that they're a product of war. So these are young people who are robbing poorer people, living from like village to village, just getting by, having a shit time, but also kind of enjoying this lawlessness of it, that they can do whatever they want because the war's on.
Yeah.
And it very much is meant to be, like, as we're talking about, that a lot of this, it's subverting the expectation that this isn't an honourable band of thieves.
They're not Robin Hoods.
And they're going to rape you.
Touch on that, because we skipped it last video because it was a bit heavy, but...
So Ciri's 14-ish during this. I think when Geralt picks her up for the first time, she's 10, 11, have a year training and whatnot. But yeah, 14-ish when she gets picked up. She's just walked through the desert for weeks. And then Missile is an older girl. I think we're told 18, 19, maybe even 20, I think the description is. And it's more or less sort of forced herself onto Ciri, and Ciri being young, impressionable, and just wanting to survive, I think allows it, or like groomed into it. It's like, and so she's groomed and somewhat sexually abused by an older woman, and by our standards, and by the standards in which Andre was writing it. Obviously, it's it's a 20-year-old playing about a 14-year-old.
Yes.
So we knew. You just knew Netflix were going to do that.
It speaks to the whole point of the show, and it's something they could actually show and comment on.
It's continuing here's what happens when war happens. Like,
it
fucks
but
everything.
Like they wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. And not only that, they didn't just like misrepresent it, they flipped it completely.
We've got a ragtag team of cool characters doing jobs.
I wonder if spin-off came first. Whether they thought the rats, that's a title.
Well, it's also just it's another example of Netflix or producers or Lauren, whoever it is, viewing this as product.
Yeah.
Not a story we have to take seriously, as just, what can we spin out of this?
It's so stupid because I love the sound of like the rats being absolute shit people and going into that. That would be a story that I would want to adapt, and like I would actually want to get that on screen.
It's not meant to be a nice time for Ciri.
Yeah, like I would want to show that. I'd be like, that sounds interesting. I want to tell people, not I want to give people Robin Hood again.
Yeah, and also we don't see much of it because Andre knows that basically, hey, she's descending down this dark, dangerous path where she's robbing people, killing folk, and being kind of sexually abused. We don't need to see that because really there's nothing to learn there. Well, I didn't hear about this rat spin-off until you told me they weren't doing it anymore. So I imagined that the rat spin-off, when we initially spoke about it, was being kind of rolled into this.
That's what I think everyone thought.
Because I assumed the rat spin-off was Ciri with them, and that's why it was a spin-off.
Yep.
But turns out no, but we will get to that. So what we're getting here with Ciri is, at the start, seems they have one base town that they operate out of.
It's because that's the only set they have.
The only set they have. So, which... Okay, fair enough.
We don't have to say fair enough when it costs $200 million. Like, I think at that point we can be like, okay,
but I can understand
guys.
the practical of like, we can't just have them on the road all the time.
But you can have like all of Winterfell. Instead, they have literally 3 buildings and you get the crossroads in front of it.
Yeah, and then I think their town looked really similar to the Jaskier flashback.
It did.
Felt like a set of movie world, to be honest, like you're walking around.
Like the fake windows where you can stand up in them, but there's nothing behind it. Exactly. It did.
You just know what's happening. So Ciri joins them. She has to prove herself. They have a ridiculous, like, you cut it. Even a bloody, like, welcome to the gang ritual where they all say their own little line. It's not fucking King Arthur.
No, it's bad. Before they even accept her, though, Missile has already taken a shine to her. We met Missile back in season 3. And you could tell then it was going to be the way it is now.
Yeah.
But Missile is the leader of the gang. We then have the large lad.
I don't know anyone's names.
No, me neither. We have large lad who is the cowardy one and like usually the getaway driver because of said cowardice.
Yeah.
We have Bum Boy, who has the world's worst accent and the world's worst hair.
I feel like he's Australian.
And I hope it's just an Australian doing a bad accent.
Yeah.
For his sake.
I remember his accent not being that bad in his brief bit in Rings of Power.
Yes.
You'll have to bring up the lines now.
The single line.
Yeah. It's cold. Let's go home. Whatever the fuck he says.
What devilry is this?
We have handsome guy.
Handsome guy with maybe girlfriend elf chick.
Who can see the future in the spin-off, but not in this show.
Yeah. And then...
So that was weird.
And then we've got the wild card.
We got the wild card.
You know.
Wild card, bitches!
Who just does cocaine and like...
Says babes. Says guys.
Fucks plans up.
Yeah.
Multiple times. They're robbing the tax man of this town.
For themselves. Which is what it's meant to be.
But it doesn't take away from the Robin Hoodness because they're the good guys.
And they're shown to be a lot more plucky and fun.
Yeah, if they were bad people, I'd be like, okay, these are bad people doing bad things. But instead, they're a plucky young group of merry men doing crime to barely get by because they say often, oh, this will last us a few days. Oh, we'll only be able to survive on a few more days of this.
Which is weird because at the end of the spin-off, they roll away with a shitload of money. And they're living in a cool little rat den. When they make their daring escape... Ciri does me in Assassin's Creed 2, chucks a shitload of money. I half expected, if you've played AC2, there is a sound that I love, the money, money, money.
Money, money, money!
So she throws that down, everyone does it, which then prevents the people from chasing. I was like, I've done exactly that.
They also didn't have to throw that many coins. They decided to throw all of them.
But everyone's like, oh, you returned the money to us, you legends.
You are the heroes.
Because then they go, oh, well, this is a good thing, because now we'll get, like, some respect or free food or whatever.
Little girls are carrying around Falca dolls now.
And, like, she's nice to the kids. I felt the actress or the writing struggled a lot with... I know when she had to play confidence, so she bumps into someone and flips their purse. She goes, "Oh, the crowd today, sir." It's just, I just noticed in my head, I didn't like her delivery when she was playing up to things like that. But that's just a nitpick. Then she's like nice to the girls, like "Thanks, Falca," and it's like, Jesus. And then from that point, the moment we're initiated, we've become the Robin Hood gang, we are doing nothing. Like, there is nothing left other than just Missile hooking up with her and her vaguely missing Geralt. Missile going, I don't think you are who you say you are.
Mysterious girl that said, call me Falca, when I asked her name.
And does Missile ever say that, hey, I'm royalty too? Or like I'm noble born at least?
No. I think we have to negate the spin-off entirely until like later or a different video.
I'm shocked they haven't like done some kind of like Witcher Legends to it, like Star Wars. Like it's a non-canon, but here it is anyway. I did like the logo.
Oh,
good job, logo guy.
Like, and I'm like, you know what? I see it. I see the whiteboard where he's like, the rats, and he showed the sick logo and then blood drips off it. I'm like, all right.
They did a whole show just to show the
this
logo.
one guy.
Then in the swamp episode too, where they go in the water and you
I
see
thought
the
that was
logo.
sick.
I was like, oh wow.
I did write down my notes. I'm like, okay. We are too easily pleased in a shit show. That's very funny that like that's what we're grasping for. We're like, thank you for the crumbs. But Missile is disgusting. I think I'm mainly annoyed because I know what she should be. But in this, they are incredibly lovesick.
It's true love, yeah.
To the point where Falca tries drugs for the first time at one point, and Missile is like, oh, I don't know if you should do drugs, babe. She's overprotective to her.
Then they try and touch on that. In the book, it's maybe because she's very grabby with her, where this, it's like, oh, I just worry about you.
Yeah, it's just, I'm absolutely in love with you, and I want the best for you. And Falca, or Ciri, of course, is like, no, I do drugs now because I'm cool. But she did her first murder at the end of last season. And that was meant to be a huge moment that they did not touch on and they did not bother with. And then this season, in one of her first episodes, she kills 3 more guys in a tattoo parlor easily. Doesn't think about it at all.
Because their Missile's like, that wasn't a fight, that was a slaughter.
So she kills those 3 people. Again, nothing is done about it. She's up to 4 people without thinking about it. So by the end of her season, she's got a kill count over 20. And they not once be like, how was your first kill? It's just another missed thing. Like, isn't this meant to be Ciri losing her innocence? Is that spawning from the fact that she's 22 now instead of 14? Because again, a 14-year-old girl killing a bunch of people, you might be like, this is crazy. But it's a group of plucky teens and they already are doing murder.
Yeah, it just completely misses it. And it's once again them falling slightly into, well, yeah, it's the same mistake we were doing back in season 1, even though it's more watchable now because it's at least someone's doing something.
Yeah.
But it's just, oh, well, we have to show Ciri doing something. We have to show Yennefer doing something. We can't just have this be, that even though the book is, all the books still, Geralt is the focus, but Baptism of Fire, he really is the focus. Yep. And Ciri and Yennefer are doing things, but they aren't, they've got like a bit. And it's all from Geralt, really. He's having visions of her, stuff like that. Like, you know, when he dreams, because they're destiny, they're connected. So for them to still have to, like, invent, I mean, they really invent for Yennefer, but with this, it's just pointless. It's just waiting.
And because she doesn't feel like she grows, but like she's already, by episode 1, the murderer. Yeah. So it's just more of cutting back to Ciri. She does a murder, and then she has sex with Missile, and then we cut away. Almost, I think 99% of her scenes with Missile, they talk, and then they bang. And that's what they cut away from every single time.
Even though we're watching separately, I think we both sort of laughed after like 40 minutes of Battle of Hogwarts. We then just hard cut to Ciri. Like, just, okay, like, I'd rather if you just made this a 40-minute episode and then put whatever you had on the next one.
I was about to commend them. The same way with episode 5, how we did almost entirely Geralt.
Right.
I was about to commend episode 5 of sticking with Geralt. But then we cut away and do some skeleton shit or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, like, we make this the episode and then I'll feel capped. If you're going to do it, do it. Stop giving me random. I'm binging. I'm not going to forget Ciri exists.
And then you're taken away from the Hansa crew, which I think we're rocking with for a long time now in the story.
Geralt's not doing anything else.
Yeah, so it's one of these, I don't know if Andre planned this series out like Tolkien, but it does feel a little bit Gardner-pantsy. But I don't know what his approach
I'm going to make Geralt walk for a bit and see what happens.
Yeah, maybe, but who knows? But what is important to Ciri's plotline is the MVP of the season, and that is Chateau Copley as Bonhart, who is a mercenary who is introduced to us as like a Witcher killer. He's got the medallions.
We watch him kill a Witcher.
And he has a cool bit where he chops off the fingers and says, oh, you can't do your signs without them then, can you?
Even though we don't know how signs work.
Yeah, well...
I didn't like him originally, mainly because we've now got 3 guys with long white hair and he's chewing the fuck out of the scenery. Like, absolutely, he is munching on bushes just everywhere. And I'm like, this guy is unbearable. But then I'm like, wait a minute, he's doing something. And then by his second scene, I'm like, okay. And then when I watch him get on his knees and Batman crime scene recreate Falca's murders in the tattoo parlor, I'm like, oh, I like him. Because he's doing something.
He's doing something.
Like, he's a character.
So he's hired by Skellen to kill the rats. The rats go to him because they're cocky shits.
But apparently that was a trap.
Yeah. Like, he knew they were going to... But also, he's just that damn good.
Because this was written after the spin-off, they talk about that they've already beaten Bonhart. So I'm like, oh, how the fuck did they beat Bonhart? That's crazy. If you've now watched the spin-off, they don't beat Bonhart, they just run away. Dolph Lundgren doesn't even beat Bonhart.
Yeah, he gets close.
But he throws the explosive up in the air instead of like killing them both. That was weird. So then he's on the trail. And it's weird because it doesn't make sense why they would go after him when we now know that they didn't stand a chance of winning.
It's not confirmed in the books he's killing witches. I think there's a bit where Yennefer even accuses him of like stealing or buying the medallions just for rep. But he's that damn good with the sword and he's a fan favourite and he's cool. And I felt from what I've seen of him so far, I think Chateau has made some interesting choices with the character. And like, you know, because the fact that it's someone who he's meant to look ancient, but obviously he's moving like he's 25 years old.
Yeah.
For some reason just worked, even though I felt like it shouldn't be working. It did work. And I think they hired Chateau Copley, and he is someone who does that with all his roles.
He's a bit similar to himself in Elysium, where he's the mercenary.
That's probably the comparison you'd bring up, yeah.
It was great casting. Good job to the casting director. I don't think what he did was on the page. I think Chateau might have brought absolutely everything.
I'm always surprised. And then it's one of these examples of, I mean, a great actor, but I love when the character is physically actually imbued, so the way he moves. And I also felt that whoever's in charge of choreography this season, I felt like he had a distinct style and movement, that he's fast and quick, but also has the kind of sloppy, like lanky nature. And I think visually, he's pretty much what I visioned. And I think if you look at some art, he's pretty spot on visually.
Gross looking too, which helps. Like his teeth being crap.
Yeah.
And the fact his clothes are dirty.
Yeah.
Everyone should be dirty. Why is he the only dirty one?
And then, like, I like that he's chewing on the egg, which I wanted. And so I'm glad that they did that.
We do get one more dumb scene between Ciri and Missile in a cave.
With a box of scraps!
Because that episode didn't have any Ciri action. So they decided Ciri needs to prove she's a Witcher by finding a little lion with a creature in its mouth. And again, we get the anglerfish moment where there's a mysterious thing floating around. So Ciri, who's meant to be a Witcher, walks up to it and he's like, whoa, what's this? And then it tries to kill her. And it grabs onto her sword, which is notoriously grippy. Swords. Very, very good at grabbing things. And she uses her sword to tear out the parasite because she has the line of like, oh, this creature is not actually bad. It's possessed by a parasite. It's just a really weird scene that like drew them out of what they were doing to just her and Missile so they could get some bonding.
I've already forgot what you're talking about, so I've already deleted it from my memory.
It's actually the picture of the show currently. It is Ciri fighting this glowing lion mouth thing.
Right.
And it was just completely pointless. And all it got out was that Missile brings up that she was also trained by a Witcher, which I thought was an incredibly weird choice.
Obviously, the reference of...
Which I didn't know at the time, because, it says enjoy that after.
They clearly intended that to come out a year ago.
Her bringing up that she was also trained by a Witcher who ran off from the Strigger. We didn't know there was already 2 witches that did the Strigger. What I thought happened, I thought the first guy...
He took the money first and went and got killed.
Yeah, I thought that's what happened. So they've retconned it so that there was Dolph Lundgren...
Who was friends with him.
Yes.
But then didn't go in with him.
And he ran off.
Or they were sharing the load, like you do this one, I'll do the next one.
Yeah, it feels retcon.
Yeah.
And I was very confused. I'm like, so she was also raised by a Witcher, and she doesn't reference time frame because we haven't seen the 8-minute movie, the direct-to-TV movie. She says, I was also trained by a Witcher. So I'm like, have you had the exact same scenario where another Witcher has like won you and you're both two sides of the same coin?
It's dumb.
Like, what are they doing here? Yeah. And then now that we've watched the Rats straight to TV movie, we now know that no, it was for like 10 minutes. She had a little montage with him. She turned him from a drunk to a cool guy.
A montage where the day barely changed.
It was, they didn't even day-night cycle it. It's so dumb. But then we get to the big culmination of the season and easily the highlight, but for not the reason they wanted.
Yeah. We're told to watch the Rats movie after this. Simply because of the frame that show starts with.
Oh, if you accidentally clicked on that.
Because without the frame, it's just a prequel.
Mm.
Since we aren't meant to have watched it, and most of us won't have watched it, you're just going to watch this season of these people who seem all right, I guess.
Oh, I hated them.
Yeah, they're boring and they're anachronistic, and they have like dance music, like they've given their own like beats. I feel the soundtrack this season Offsuit has been very, does someone listen to the games and copy it? Like they've really just trying to go, look, we've got the women going, like
okay.
it meant to sound more like I felt the Witcher game music.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they go to town, call out Bonhart, and in this world now they feel like they got one on him, so they're going to get him again. And I guess now they want to because they assume he killed their best friend Dolph Lundgren, the Witcher. That's meant to be their added motivation.
Yes.
Rather than them being cocky shit kids of the book.
Which I reckon was in this, but they cut it because we wouldn't have known about that till later. Like maybe if they were too explicit, maybe they cut it.
Yeah.
Because this was written after the Rats. Because the Rats was filmed like 2 years ago, like Dolph Lundgren said.
2.5 years ago.
So yeah. We should have technically have seen all that.
So it was being filmed when season 3 was coming out.
Must have, yeah. So we should have been loving the Rats. We should have been like rooting for them. We're like, yeah, fuck that Leo Bonhart guy.
Yeah, we had a great time with the 8-episode Rat spin-off, that whatever that was meant to be. But he comes out and it's a really nicely choreographed, even though we've been saying a lot of the fights seem really one cool person killing 4 or 5 other people seems to be a lot of the fights.
Yeah.
But it's a good one of those.
I liked the choreography. I didn't like how it was shot. It really did feel like they didn't plan it. There was nothing interesting there. And the cameraman was like running behind them half the time.
Because they don't want to show that.
Yes, they were limited by the fact it's not Sharlto Copley. It's some guy in a wig.
Who's doing a wonderful job.
Yeah, but like deep fakes exist.
And also, we're back in Revenge of the Sith. George had like the heads being CG'd on and stuff. So, and also there's enough there that you could.
You get a mustache. You put egg on his face like you were talking about.
Yeah.
He just comes out with like the Mrs. Doubtfire pie. And he's like, you caught me at the wrong time. Still kills them all.
No, that's it though. And so he comes out and he makes light work of them.
Fucking
and
deletes them.
And it's meant to be shocking that this. And to be fair, when I was reading it in the book, I was like, "Oh, you just straight up killed that one. Oh, you just killed that one again. This is awesome because they're shitty, rapey people."
Yeah, so maybe that's the way Andre meant it. He's like, they get their comeuppance, but it's also by a worse guy.
That's it. So you thought these guys were bad. Here's death incarnate.
Yeah. Whereas here, it's just people I hate.
Yeah, who are boring and shit and annoying.
They get deleted.
And it's really satisfying.
I can't show any of this on YouTube too.
It's super satisfying. Like the neck for it, when he gets the neck.
I think that's the first one too. And I was like, oh, we're doing that.
He throws the knife at the wild card. And she looks surprised. And they give us a few seconds for us to be like, oh, she just got stabbed and she's going to die.
I didn't know that would happen. I thought, oh, how the fuck is she going to survive this? Because I was about to watch an 80-minute movie in a couple of episodes' time. I know she's in it.
And then it's a neck.
After that one, I'm like, okay, there's no way they can fake that surviving.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a prequel then, I guess. So I was mainly very confused. But then I'm also like, I'm liking the murder. And then, yeah, they just keep doing it.
Yeah, and it's really quick, really fast.
And in a sick way, like the way that Elf Girl starts crawling towards Handsome Boy.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'll take
Captain
that.
Stark. Captain Stark style. And then obviously
the bomb boy.
The best of them all.
My least favorite too.
My least favorite too. He's muttering to himself.
He's saying the mantra.
Because Bonhart knows about this bomb bollocks. Because one, he just flicked one up really coolly at the start.
Yeah.
But also, now we know in the prequel spin-off, he had to deal with the bomb. So he already knows it's coming. So then he goes to hit it, counters, slashes belly open, shoves it in there, and then cut to behind of him just exploding. Metal kill, fucking awesome.
Yeah, like if you're going to sacrifice yourself, just do it there and then.
If they want it to be this tragic moment,
don't make it cool.
Why have they made it cool? Because all you're telling me is that Bonhart, like all I'm going now is, man, it's going to be pretty cool when Geralt has to fight this guy.
Yeah.
Like that's basically where I'm at.
And we did like the Geralt and Vilgefortz fight in both season 3 and the redub in this season.
Yeah, that anime like block.
If it's anything close to that, because Geralt never fights one guy, I'm now thinking. Apart from Vilgefortz, when has Geralt ever 1v1'd anyone?
Yeah, it's not often, is it?
Like you just said, it's 4 guys come at Geralt, he swings his sword at each of them, they fall down.
Yeah.
So do more of that. Give me more of a challenge. And also, Vilgefortz never felt like a real threat, even though that one cool fight.
The actor had no aura, where Chateau does have aura. Vilgefortz could, though, because he's arguably just as cool.
Yeah.
Like, he's a charming guy who can politicize, but then he's also the most powerful wizard.
Yeah, I can see the vision, even with that actor. Like, he's a handsome guy. He's like smarmy evil a little bit. So I'm like, I can see it. They're just not doing it.
Yeah.
And then they put him in crappy makeup and make it hard.
And then fade it away over time.
The Vilgefortz and Geralt with Henry, you can tell they worked on that fight.
Yeah.
Like, it's Anakin and Count Dooku guy level of like going at each other. So yeah, you need to give Liam that with Sholto. That'd be sick.
And Liam seemingly did a good job with all that because they were happy to show him doing it.
Choreography seemed better. They've got one consistent guy. It wasn't like in season 2 where I was thrown for a loop because suddenly we're like zooming into teeth as they get punched out of someone's head. Like to me, I was like, whoa, whereas all this, even though I didn't love it.
It's all visually consistent.
Exactly, which helps, and it adds to this season is more watchable.
Yeah, because now we have cool fights, we can say. We can go cool fights on the pros.
Yeah.
So he does all that. He then removes all their heads and puts them in a pickle barrel.
Pickled rats.
Fucking
hell.
And makes Ciri watch as he chops off Missel's head.
And Freya gets to act again.
Yes.
They don't let her do it often.
They don't do it often.
And that's actually the moment where it's like, if a 14-year-old girl was visualizing that, even if they did the perfect version of this story.
Her abuser.
You still don't want to see that. Even with abusers, there's that whole protective aspect. Like she's
been groomed by them.
Yeah. When you're 14, that would also fuck you up. So here at least, it's the most impactful thing that's happened to Freya since
in a while.
Calanthe died, honestly. Because she's done nothing.
Yeah, the going through the portal stuff isn't exactly the...
She hung out in the desert for a couple of days. Apart from the little interlude to the Rats movie, where Falk is, for some reason, being kept alive. I mean, I can tell it's story reasons. Like, they can't kill the main character.
He's clearly fascinated by her.
Even when he meets the rats, he's like, where's the talented one?
Yeah. That Ciri's motivation in the book is hearing that someone is living the nice life. And, like, it clicks her in that, hang on, I should live the nice life. But they don't want to do that here because that's not honourable. And we've made the rats these honourable scallywags.
That are having fun. They're pretty well off, all things considered.
Exactly. Yeah, like, and you don't get the sense there's a war on or that anyone's struggling. Yeah.
No, the town looks great. Like, the tax man's flush. All the peasants are like, that he's charging us too much tax, but we're alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this is where you show the effects of the war that Ciri is staying out of.
Yes.
And she's like, oh the war's fucked
hold
up.
on there then. Yeah. Wait, and is this war happening in part because of me?
Yeah, we cap off the season with Amir, and cutting back to him, he's now been told by Skellen, because Skellen's doing all this plotting stuff. He catches wise of Skellen, thinking that Skellen's like trying to betray him.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? I hate you. I'm going to kill you. And then Skellen's like, whoa. I figured out why your daughter isn't around, why you can't fulfill the prophecy. It's because Geralt has a prophecy with her, and you can't have two prophecies. And he's like, huh? Evil wizard guy, don't you agree? And evil wizard guy's like, you know what? I think that'll work.
He's pissed off with Vilgefortz too, because Vilgefortz is
like,
the
one that lied to him.
You gave me the fake girl.
But also Vilgefortz could murder him incredibly easily, so I don't really know why there was ever a friendship there. Vilgefortz can put on the face of Amir. Like, we know that illusion magic exists, so he could be the king. Like, what does Vilgefortz want? He wants power, but he could take over Nilfgaard.
He's beyond all that. He wants cosmic power to jump between spheres and all that stuff.
But he doesn't need Amir to get Ciri. So it's like, none of the motivations really work for me.
But that's the whole point of the fan edit is that you aren't 100% on things. It's weird and confusing because you're from Geralt's perspective.
But I should know by now. I should know a season later. And then he says, okay, so I can't find Ciri, so I'm going to have to find Geralt, who apparently is maybe easier.
Because then my destiny will overwrite him because
yes,
he'll be
if
dead.
I kill him, then I get my destiny with Ciri. I'm going to go to my dungeon and talk to this mysterious teaser for season 5.
Yeah, the monster we haven't rendered yet. Because what's the best thing you can do to send to the most famous monster hunter in the world? A monster.
Geralt's just one guy. Geralt doesn't seem hard to kill. I know you've sent like an army around, but I feel like if anyone went, I'm going to kill Geralt, and then actually tried to, they could probably kill Geralt.
Yeah, they could probably manage it. Well, he was almost dead with Vilgefortz, right?
Yeah, this isn't the game where you like slaughter hundreds of people. It's
right.
He's just a guy, especially now that he's in a leather jacket.
So that's where it ends.
Which is a weird way to end it.
Oh, yeah.
Even halfway through the season, I didn't really feel like this was the second last season of the show because Geralt didn't really grow or have much of an arc. Again, he used the power of friendship. Yeah. Yennefer, again, fucked around for a bit because she's not important. And Ciri also didn't grow.
As a non-book person, you were largely bored.
Oh, incredibly bored.
And we're at least with people longer now.
Yes.
So we're not just jumping around constantly, so you can be just at least a bit more invested in things.
It helps a lot, just being like letting scenes sit.
It sucks because, you know, they've got a great, they have got great source material here and stuff that they could have adapt, and things change in adaptation, but like they really changed it.
That's the thing. It's like adaptation is hard, sure, but when you get the rats and they're the worst of the worst, and you make them shining pillars of humanity that like are just hard done by, that's the problem. You just don't get it at that point.
The show is saying, I know better.
Yeah.
It feels like. And also, yeah, it's like, oh, what? Like Ciri actually is kind of gay? Oh, great. Awesome. Let's make her like really into it gay.
Yeah. Let's make her actually love this missile woman.
What stuck out to me most with when we cut to the special, which is, I mean, we don't know anything about it really, the history of it or anything. It just got dropped.
We know they filmed 2 episodes, so the opening episodes must have been this heist.
Must have been. But then they had to have come back and done stuff.
They must have added the framing device.
But then they're killing a Dolph Lundgren. Like, was he going to be the whole season and dies at the end? Did they have to... Or maybe they weren't filming the episodes in order. I really don't know.
I'd love to... I'll try to deep dive in it, because that'll be a big... cool discussion.
But it's really bold that frame narrative begins with all the rats' heads pickled in the barrel. And then now we're going to have a prequel story about them. I've never seen a film do that.
And there's no frame of when to watch this in canon. It's not called like season 4.5 or anything like that. It's literally just the rats who in that last season.
It's buried at the end. Like it's not being shown. It's not in the top 10 of Netflix.
Yeah.
It's not being... I don't even think it's really being shown in like new.
I didn't know till you told me.
It's an 80-minute nothing.
So the problem with the season isn't Geralt, isn't Liam. If anything, he takes way more of a backstage this season than I would have expected, considering the way you all talked about it.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's a brand new like character that you'd think you'd want to stand out. And the baptism of fire it's Geralt's baptism of fire. It doesn't feel like Geralt's show, and I don't think Liam is carrying it. I'm not against his portrayal. I just don't think he brings anything more interesting.
I'm not sure it's him not bringing or him not having much to bring.
Well, that's the thing. They had the opportunity to write him as a completely different Geralt that pontificates, that talks, that yaps. I've heard Geralt called a yapper, from the books. Like, this man just won't stop.
Yeah.
Whereas they kept him to be almost identical to Cavill Geralt.
And they're struggling so much with the dandelion stuff because they were best friends from the start. They had them be were awkwardly friends, and then it feels like they're still suffering from that season 1 thing where you're not sure exactly why these people are friends.
This season is fucking haunted by 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder what they're going to do with 5, because they don't have to do that anymore.
Considering they back-to-back, 5 will just be a continuation, which will be nice.
They won't add anything new, but they also won't have to spend so much of the season like they did this season rewriting the past.
It's a weird little series where I don't think I ever would want to watch it again, but then it's also the best season of The Witcher.
I think it at least ties with season 1.
Yeah.
Because there's some stuff in season 1 you could see a good version.
Yeah.
So it almost feels like they've struggled to do that again.
Like, you feel the hope in season 1, like the enthusiasm for the material.
Yeah.
The money and everything. They just feel really excited about it in season 1.
Like, Netflix is doing a fantasy.
Yeah.
Because it was before Shadow and Bone and all that as well. Like, Netflix is doing something. Like, whoa. But no, they fucked it up again. It's definitely, like you said, the most watchable. It's just still so nothing. Like, none of the big 3 really feel like they've moved from the start of the season to the end of the season. No. They've moved geographically. That they've gone some places, but like, them as people, they still feel completely stalled.
Yeah.
So for the 4th time in a row, we can say now it's time to start, which it just goes down to Lauren Hisrich and the rest of the
crew,
whoever's in charge. Yeah, like Netflix themselves. Obviously, Netflix has a say.
Yeah, because they got rid of the rats.
They killed the rats. They say the rats die twice. Once when Netflix cancels them, and then once again when Chateau Copley deletes them. All of Netflix and all that, like, everyone in charge of the show, they're just bad at their job, and they're not, like, there's no direction.
I feel bad that, no one seems to be doing a grand job behind the scenes. They've got the perfect quadrant, surely, right? Money, time, and then also they had plenty of time to adapt this.
A fuck ton of books, honestly. That's a lot of books.
It's all here anyway.
Yeah, well, it all has to go through Lauren as showrunner. Like, even, like, if a guy wears a codpiece in the show, she's seen that. She's not surprised when she rocks up to set. So it is shocking that it ended up this way, but also it really does. The same way we blame Russell T Davies for everything in RTD2, Lauren is to blame here.
It's crazy how HBO or whoever's in charge over there we have our problems with House of the Dragon, but I mean, you just watch the one trailer of Dunk and Egg and you're like, oh, this looks great.
That's the biggest comparison here is House of the Dragon. And House of the Dragon Season 2, we said the writing was pretty rough in places, but the show still looked good. Like, everyone else was on point.
The acting was great. There was good scenes.
Like, even the director was doing good. It was literally just the material on the page was bad. But here, it's like, oh, even the wig department is fucking up. Like, your job is wigs, my guy.
Yeah.
Like, I know that probably comes down. Same with VFX. Like, it's time. Like, they were obviously not allowed to or given enough time to make the wigs look good. I glimpsed a scene earlier of Henry wakes up and his hair's completely down. And it's like matted behind his ears. I'm like, it looks like that's his hair. That's when we were thinking about him being Aegon Targaryen. He looked that good in the wig. Like, he looks like it's his hair. Whereas it just annoys me that Liam is the same 2 little dings every time.
You've already changed him so much. He's in a leather fucking jacket, for God's sake. Like, why not just tell Liam to grow his hair out? Because he's got nothing else on.
Get it as long as you can. Do some extensions.
We'll dye it blonde. How about we do that?
He does have nothing else on, which is very funny to me. He's not a bad actor, but everyone always quotes him in all the articles as Liam Hemsworth of Hunger Games. That was so long ago, and he was barely in those. And he was the 3rd wheel in that too.
Yeah,
and it's like, that's all he's listed as. Whereas he's done... I very much doubt any of you have seen any Liam Hemsworth stuff that wasn't the Muppets.
He was in the Expendables 2 briefly, but he got killed off.
I think I was in high school when Expendables 2 came out.
Yeah. I can't really think of much.
No,
I feel like there's an obvious Liam Hemsworth thing.
No, he did Hunger Games and then the Muppets. There's some little things, but you haven't seen them. I haven't seen them. I don't know if we mentioned it. He sounds like Thor 90% of the time. I'm annoyed at the fact they made him do the Cavill voice because he can't do it. And then when he tries to go loud, he sounds like Thor, which makes sense because he's doing the same accent as his brother.
Did they approach Chris first, maybe? Because, he
they didn't approach Luke, I can tell you that much.
Oh, yeah, he's busy, Westworld guy. But no, not Liam's fault. Even the haters will remind us that it's not Liam's fault.
If anything, it just made me realize how easy Geralt probably is to play. That the actor, like Henry Cavill, really was carrying their version of Geralt. I can't see Liam doing most of those Henry Cavill scenes.
Yes.
Like the standout Henry Cavill scenes as Geralt, I don't think I could imagine Liam doing that.
Yes. So we've got what? We would go and do the special. It won't take long.
Yep.
We might do Blood Origin. I mean, I watched the first 15 minutes of that and I was shocked.
I finished it. It's funny.
And then in the coming weeks, we will have a special with Nemu of Inris Vitri, who is, I would say, not a Witcher expert, a Witcher scholar. Like, I think we could run a course on The Witcher, maybe.
They know their stuff.
We'll be having them on and we'll be going into the nitty-gritty. So for all you people going, these trats don't know the books despite having the special editions, we've got the Witcher person of YouTube, in my opinion, coming on over. So tune in for that. And yeah, hope you've enjoyed this Witcher journey with us, and we'll be back on our Doctor Who comfort train
Doctor
soon.
Who's coming, I swear.
Yeah, geez, yeah, we'll get
and just
in there.
whatever else comes out, like Predator Badlands is coming up, stuff like that. But this will probably be a long video, so thank you very much if you've made it this far. See you later.